mentioned by the man with the mojo. My 8 subscriber, I'm up at Goso. Jump in them Sinkies and dump them mimosos. The first Florida man was Hernando de Soto. First Florida man was Hernando de Soto. First Florida man was Hernando de Soto.
Hola, folks. We're having a miscellaneous, not booze and body cam related stream. That's how I've been introducing it to other people. It's going to be the Eric Martin bench trial, but we had a sneaky spy in the 23rd District Court yesterday, and we're going to talk to him first so that he doesn't have to sit around and slum it with us peasants.
He's already seen what we're about to watch in person. He saw the live show.
Yeah, he was there. How you doing, bud? You want to introduce yourself as much as you feel comfortable introducing yourself?
Yeah, I'm just Brutal Bob, your ex-neighbor, missing you.
Yeah, I actually know him in real life. But yeah, so again, we all knew what happened. My audio's a bit low. I'm having a problem with normal stuff. You want to introduce?
I can adjust over here.
Comfortable introducing yourself? Oh yeah, I can hear myself. Yeah.
I think.
Hang on, you guys. I
actually know him in real life. I
think
sound
Bob
bad.
has us on a. This is not Bob's forte.
No, this is my first time ever doing something like this.
Yeah.
And my son brought me another phone so I could watch the chat, and I'm still trying to figure out how to do that.
It happens like that, but
yeah, just turn the volume off on that one, or I don't know.
So we all know what happened. I'm not going to drink energy drink and a cough drop. That's going to be a. Will you want to tell us your thoughts on Eric Martin's sister?
She's her own worst enemy.
Yeah, I noticed. When you called me right after, I noticed we had the same thinking that the Martin apple didn't fall far from the tree with any of the kids.
Yep, that was your statement, and you're very true on that, because I don't want to give Eric Martin too much credit, but he knew how to push her buttons. And when he got on the stand and started doing his testimony, she sat back there across from Wixom was there with me, Wixom and I, and she just couldn't keep her mouth shut. She was always snorting or gurgling or making a rather loud comment under her breath. And the judge kept, staring at her, and the Taylor officer sitting at the prosecution's table turned around and mouthed to her to be quiet. And I looked at her and did the same thing, because I'd talked to her earlier in the day a couple times, and she just wouldn't stop. And the judge told her to get out. And boy, it was downhill from there on.
Wixom, your partner in crime, says his sister's name is Lisa, and she was a terrible witness. I feel like she was an okay witness until she started getting into it with the judge, and then I'm like, it's all downhill from this point.
Yeah, it was. She'd get on this when she was on the stand. They would ask her a question, and she would want to expound on it and go beyond it. And the judge told her 2 or 3 times, stopped her and said, you've answered the question. Next one, and she just wouldn't stop. She just kept going on and on and on. She wanted to get out what she wanted to say, and the court be damned. She was going to say what she wanted to say, and the judge got madder and madder with it. So I don't know.
She kept wanting to expand to I forgot the number, 20 something or 16 cases like this that he's hit her or something, and she's like, well, I'm not going to accept any of that.
Yeah, and at one point she's testifying, and they'd asked what had happened that night, and she said that he'd walked in and turned the radio to her radio, and he turned it down. He said it was on 10. She told me it was on 2, because he said it was disturbing the cat who was laying there. Well, if the cat was disturbed, it would have got up and left.
Yeah, cats aren't exactly known for their patience. They normally just kind of dip out and knock fucking cups off the counter.
Yep. And, she went down the hall and started hollering at him, and one thing led to another, and he pushed her and sort of semi-karate chopped her neck, and she called the police, and out they came, and you've seen the video of him getting arrested. So but what struck me about him, KFARR, was when he walked into the courtroom. Wicks and I were sitting right there in the first pew, right behind the defense table. He's a small man. For some reason, I envisioned him, 5'8", 5'10". I mean, I saw him on his video standing on the side of the road, and I didn't think he was that little. I mean, this guy probably is like 5'5", 135 pounds, soaking wet. He's not a big man at all.
He's like BSBT when I saw him in person.
I think,
and I'm just like, you look much bigger in videos.
Yeah, BSBT's a little wider.
Tell.
Well,
like you're watching somebody online or in a video, you really cannot tell their size. I've been surprised meeting people in person a lot.
Yeah, he sat down and we looked at each other, and I went, God, he's small, So I guess that's why when the police come to arrest him, he doesn't give him a hard time, but when it's a woman, he doesn't have an issue.
To be fair, even if he wanted to give them a hard time.
Well, they just pick him up under their arm and slap him down, and that'd be the end of it.
Time to go, little guy. Let's go.
He, at one point during the trial, when it was his turn to question Lisa, he said, "This is your radio?" And she goes, "Yes, my radio." And he says, "Can you prove it? Do you have the receipt?" And the judge just goes, "Mr. Martin." It's like, this guy is asking some of the dumbest questions. But then when I sat there for a minute and saw how upset she was getting, I thought, man, this guy's no dummy. He's pushing buttons on her up one side, down the other, and got her just turned around every which way.
Yeah, and we did talk. We talked for a while yesterday, and I don't know if I told you or you told me. That seems like that was his go-to of kicking his attorney out before the trial. Because he's like, well, if there's anybody that knows how to push my sister's buttons, it's me.
Exactly.
And maybe that's why the attorney was like, he's asking me to do things that I don't feel comfortable doing. And it's like, maybe one was just poking his sister repeatedly.
Yeah.
I mean, I know how to push my siblings' buttons for sure.
Well, it was a long, long day because Judge Slavin wasn't there. So his whole docket came over to the judge here. And boy, it was just a real cluster all day long. They started his trial just a little before lunch, and then they came back and they were calling all these cases, and nobody was showing up because everybody was tuning into Slavin's court and not Judge Shackelford's court. So when they finally figured that out, she knocked out 8 or 10 cases right away, but she ended up calling, I don't know, 5 or 6, 7 attorneys in the back room and told them, look, we can't do your client's 21-day exams because there's just too much time and too many cases and not enough time. His trial, when it started up to end, started up just a few minutes before the court closed. The court closes at 4. We left after 5 o'clock. It was a long day down there. We were down there almost 9 hours. So it was a real busy day in Judge Shackelford's courtroom yesterday. So anything else you want to know about what Mr. Martin or the judge or Lisa did?
Oh, good. I'm muted. Good. Hopefully I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
Let's see here. What other questions do I have? Wick, I believe
my
it was
dogs
Wick's
get dog treats when KFARR's muted, or just his? I don't know what the rules are.
Yeah, I'm killing the rest of the banana chips for Dexter today.
I've got banana chips mixed in with mini milk bones in this container.
You know what? I should do that. No, Wixom, I believe, said that he didn't look good.
Oh no, he didn't. He didn't. So I don't know what they keep him. I hope they keep him separate of all the prisoners, because the way he runs his mouth, boy, he'd have been going out of there to the hospital.
He said, okay, I did have one very serious question. He said he did 24 years or whatever in prison.
Yes.
Did he expand on that at all of what that was for?
Well, what Lisa said was that he broke into the back lot of the post office down there and took a mail truck and took it driving around the city and wherever else he wanted to go until they found it somewhere and found him, and he got 24 years because of
So a federal crime.
Yes.
That's the most sovereign citizen crime I've ever heard of in my entire life. Like that.
Like, if you're going to steal a car, don't steal a federal employee's car. What are you doing?
Well, it was a mail truck. I mean, can you imagine driving around at midnight in a mail truck? I mean, if I'd been on patrol and a mail truck passed me at midnight, I'd have been pulling it over to see what was going on, you know?
Yeah.
So, and this is just what Lisa told me. So, you know, I went with it, but it sounded reasonable coming from something that Eric Martin would do.
Yeah, I've been periodically checking his Facebook account, waiting for another video. He actually posted himself getting arrested, I believe, the second time for this case.
Wow.
He frauditor style. He was recording in his kitchen. I've been waiting for another video like that to pop up. So far, nothing. But I did learn some very interesting things that I'm not going to repeat on the stream until I run it down.
I was going to say, I can read it if you want.
It's just very, very, very interesting read from apparently a lawsuit that he lost a few years ago, where he included his competency evaluation or the psychologist report from MDOC, which they did not go easy on Eric Martin in that.
Let's just say there's leprechauns involved.
Yeah. But there, somebody posted a few things from that, but I wanted to make sure that that's where they got it from and weren't making it up, because it's so much where I'm thinking, like, there's no way this is made up. You know what I mean?
Well, you know,
seems legit.
Miss Katie, if you saw him come into court, he had a beard because he hasn't shaved forever. So I could see him as a leprechaun with the hat on at the end of the rainbow, sitting by the pot of gold.
Yeah.
Oh God! Oh, look at I see the video.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
This is what I was talking about, where you saw everything, and I only saw these two views, so I could only see Eric Martin for the short time that he was actually on the stand.
Mm-hmm.
And you got the whole time. And I told you I didn't get to grab the first bit from morning court before they went to lunch. Can you touch on that before we get too far into this, about him and his attorney not wanting to be boys anymore?
That poor man yesterday, he came in and he let out the biggest sigh walking in. And I thought, this is going to be funny. And sure enough, he said that, privilege is broken down. Eric Martin wanted him to file some stuff that attorneys can't file. Okay, at least not in get in trouble for it. And he just said, I told him, Your Honor, I can't represent this guy. So then she went into she is so nice and so gives him every chance in the world, even though she wants to, kick him in the butt till his nose bleeds. But she went into all this, and then she let him start his motions. I quit counting like 10. He probably had 12 or 13 motions to dismiss, and every one of them was more ridiculous than the last one. One of them had to do with slavery. He was going to be enslaved, and they were some of the stupidest things. And he's quoting cases, and I'm sitting there on my phone looking the cases up, and some of them didn't even pertain to what he was talking about. Typical sovereign citizen. But he just kept going, a motion to dismiss on CCR 12-1, blah, blah, And then he'd go to the next one. She kept going, denied, denied, denied. Mr. Martin denied. Yeah. Oh my God. That's what all the morning was taken up, was his motions to dismiss. So, and then he wanted to be able to say a couple things that the judge didn't want him to say, because he wanted to bring in a video from before, when he got arrested with his sister there. He wanted to use it to impeach her as a liar. And all he had to do was say she's a liar, because she loud and long out in the hallway said, "I've never told a lie in my life." And I'm like, yeah, okay. Gee, I got a funny feeling that, you were a child once and somebody else told me that. Oh yeah, that was you, KFARR.
I was just about to say, this conversation sounds familiar.
Yeah. And I'm like, you were never a child. You never told, like, I've never told a lie in my life. Now, my brother, on the other hand, okay, here we go. So it was an interesting day, not so much because of Eric Martin till the end when he was found not guilty. Now he's going to be the hero of the sovereign citizen world because of this, because it wasn't a dismissal. It wasn't, we're dropping the charges, anything like that. He actually took the case to bar and he was found not guilty. So now he's going to reign supreme for a while, I'm sure.
Yeah. Even though he was found not guilty through no documents he produced, no sovereign citizen argument he produced, just because his sister's somehow a bigger asshole than he is.
Yep, that's a good way to put it. So, and the other brother, he wasn't there, so I don't know. He was probably home at.
I was going to ask about that.
Yeah, he wasn't there.
What was it? The last time they had domestic against him and the sister, the brother was like in the hospital, laid up in bed, and couldn't make it.
And she told me, because I asked her, I said, they dismissed the charges against him. And she says, well, why? And I says, well, you and your brother didn't show up. And I said, there was a lot of people wondering out in YouTube land whether you people were okay or not. And she's, what do you mean? And I actually I showed her your channel, KFARR, and Miss Katie's. And I said, there's other ones out there. I said, go to old Squishy Gardner. I says, there's a lot of stuff on your brother out there, because she couldn't believe that Wixom had drove in from where he came from. And she couldn't believe that I lived up north and we come down, to see this guy. And I said, there's a lot of interest on your brother. He is such a, I don't even know, clown or something. I tried to keep it clean. But I says, everybody was watching and they were worried when you people didn't show up. She's, well, I had to work and they didn't send me this and I didn't know it. And then they called and then the car broke or something. She came up with a whole litany of excuses on why she wasn't there. And I said, well, then why are you mad, that the charges keep getting dismissed or dropped against your brother when you guys aren't there to back it up?
Yeah, they're not gonna go into a trial with no witnesses and go, no, this is what we think happened.
Right.
Exactly.
Like, it's not how it works.
I told her, I said, Lisa, I said, the police always come no matter what. I said, 28 years, I went to house time after time where I knew we'd make an arrest and the people wouldn't show up. And then somebody ended up dead. And I said, it's horrible. I said, you need to show up and you need to testify. And if it's a jury trial, when you're asked a question, look at the jury when you answer. She was a real good one. When I was talking with her in the hall, she looked everywhere. She would never look straight at me. And a couple times I said, Lisa, look at me and give me the answer. And she just wasn't a good witness that way. She just gave all the signs of, you know what I'm talking about, KFARR, when you got somebody in a box and you're interrogating them, which is where my name came from, because the way I handled interrogations, there's all these signs that people give off if they're telling a lie or if they're trying to muff something or whatever. And man, she had a good number of them going on. So when she was telling me about the mail truck, she was half looking at me. So I kind of thought maybe, this whole thing is true. And and I was going to bring it up to you, and I forgot because I know you do a dive into it and find out if that was what happened. But she just wasn't a good witness. She argued with the prosecutor, the person, you know, going after Martin. She argued with the judge. She made a comment to one of the police officers walking out. And then she gets off the, well, she argued with everybody on the stand, and then she gets off the stand and won't shut up. You know, I walked out in the hall the minute it was over, and she looked at me. She says, "What happened?" I said, "Not guilty." And she just, you know, "What do you mean, not guilty?" I said, "Lisa, you are your own worst enemy. The judge didn't believe you." I said, "You did everything I told you not to do, and you didn't do anything I told you to do." She says, "Well, I understand." I said, "Lisa, I spent 28 years in law enforcement. I know how to testify. I was trying to help you get your point across, and you did everything wrong. And now the judge doesn't believe you. And when there's one witness and you're it, if the judge doesn't believe you, she's not going to go along. You showed the bruise, okay? You showed the bruise, but she would have taken your word for it had you handled your testimony different." And that was the other thing. He jumped up and was going to walk up to the stand because he wanted to see the bruise on her arm. And of course, the court officer grabbed him and sat him right back down. But he wanted to see the bruise. And then he didn't believe the pictures. You know, he wanted to impeach the pictures. So it was just one little thing after the other that kept building up, building up, building up. And I got to admit, Judge Shackelford's pretty good, but you could see it in her face. And the closer they got to the end, and when she put her out in the hallway, it was there that you knew it wasn't going to go good for her, that this guy was going to probably walk away, which he did. So there
You
it
wouldn't
is.
think it would be that difficult to just be normal and tell the truth. Just be cool
normal for like
and tell the truth.
15 minutes.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. It's not that hard, right?
She kept raising her voice. He'd ask her a question and she'd get louder and louder and louder. And the judge kept admonishing her to, you know, calm down. Look at the, I told her, I said, "Lisa, when the prosecutor asked you a question, look at the judge when you answer." She said, "Well, I was told you're supposed to look at the jury." I said, "Well, do you have a jury?" "Well, no, the judge." I said, "The judge is the jury in this case. Look at the judge, look her in the eye when you answer her." And she did everything but that. Looking at the ceiling, looking over at the court officer where the jury sits, looking down, staring at her brother. You know, if looks could kill, we'd be talking about Eric Martin being buried tomorrow. But she wasn't a good witness for herself at all, and just blew the case totally apart.
Do you have any other questions?
Me? No, I'm good.
I'm trying to think. 'Cause I had so many questions.
Well, he can
God.
see the video now. I wasn't sure he was going to be able to see it, so we
I
can
want
watch
the
it and he
video.
can stick around and we can have questions throughout.
Sure.
Do you want to do that?
Yeah, that sounds terrific.
All right, I want to play the video. This is edited down, you said, from 4 hours?
Yeah, the second half stream for that day was like 4 or 5 hours.
Okay.
And this was like
This
an
is
hour and 30 minutes.
just the good
And
parts.
I sped it up so that we wouldn't be sitting here all day.
Okay. Okay. All right, here we go.
Let's do it.
Chat, let me know if the volume's okay on that. I can turn it up a little. I have a little more leeway on my audio mixer. Well, of course, nothing's happening now. I'm like, listen, see if it sounds good. Nothing happens.
Started it all this morning.
What's that?
Was this case started it all this morning?
All we did was he made his motions for dismissal.
Okay.
Yeah, and now we're ready to actually like start the trial.
Okay.
Unless he has more motions for dismissal, but after that. I want to apologize for the wait we had there, Mr. Martin. Did you have a chance, Mr. Martin, to watch that video?
I've seen the videos that, of the cop going in my house.
Okay, so
But
you,
there's still, but not the video of the other court case my sister.
well, I told you I'm not entertaining video from another court case.
You know, attacks her credibility, but I don't know.
Okay,
Okay, well, anyways, yeah, on that, but, there's something.
okay, well, wait 1 second. Can I get your appearance, counsel?
Yes, Your Honor. Good afternoon. Natalia Esmer on behalf of the people, P88493.
Okay. And, Mr. Martin?
I'm Mr., but, I object to the Mr., the Mr. understand would, understand, but
Okay. What's your first and last name?
it would mean that I'm, not one of the sovereign people and I am one of the sovereign.
Okay, well, you're also a citizen of the United States and you have a birth name and it's Eric Martin. I'm familiar with you. I'll accept your appearance. All right. Any other preliminary matters before we start testimony?
No, Your
Yes.
Honor.
All right. Go ahead, Mr. Martin.
Yeah, some motions, but, one of the things I need I need someone to testify for, that's the tax assessor, Jessica here, that's next door, which supports, my sister being a liar.
All right, that's not relevant.
Her not lying is not relevant, that doesn't make sense.
You can ask her questions about
No, I'm not
that.
talking my sister, I'm talking about the tax assessor will admit something.
All right,
She's
you want to
questions
pause
which-
it real
The
quick
quickest, easiest way would be like you call her, or I need to
Yes.
call her.
because I have a question. This is one of the questions I had originally. Did she bring up to you guys the whole housing situation? Brutal Bob?
Did we
Did
lose
she
him?
bring up what? What did she?
Anything about whose house it is?
Yeah, that was another thing the judge didn't like. She kept saying it was her house, and she does have a will showing the father left the house to her. But they didn't look at that, and she kept saying her house, and he kept saying my house, and the judge said, whose house is the name in, ma'am? And she said, my father's, and that ended it right there. So the judge was assuming that all three of them own part of the house when the will shows that she owns it.
And I'm drawing a blank here because I'm trying to go back to the document that I read where Eric Martin's trying to file for a protection order against the treasurer of Wayne County so that they can't take the house. Did she say when her dad passed?
I don't remember that. It has, I don't think it's been that long ago, but I don't remember exactly. I think it was sometime last year.
Oh, okay. That's not even that far away. Okay. Or that far back. Because I know they were going to argue about that, but I didn't know exactly if they had a will that said XYZ gets the house or if they're all just like me, my house, and it's not going to anyone. I'm going to buy Eric Martin's house.
When we're in the court.
Yeah, you want to go together and buy his house?
Yeah, that wouldn't piss him off at all.
I'd love to be sitting in that house and have him walk in the back door.
Oh,
We've
make
been
sure you get
waiting
the
for
locks
you.
changed.
No, I'd leave the locks the same. He could walk in the back door and he wouldn't do it again.
I would interview him. It would be like what is his name?
Runs up
Chris
to
Hansen.
him with a microphone. Have a seat.
It'd be like To Catch a Predator, but it would just be To Catch Eric Martin. I'd have my whole studio in the kitchen. I've been waiting for you.
To testify to something which will.
What, give me an offer of proof. What is she going to tell me?
She's gonna say the house's name, I mean, the 9074 Clifford Street where we live at, that house is in my father's name, which this is what Jessica told me. This is what support my sister's lie, how she keeps on saying, it's my house, it's my house. She's on the video saying that 1,000 times.
Okay.
So that would attack that she's a liar, which would attack her lying allegations in this complaint that she's a liar, and therefore it's relevant for that.
Ma'am, can you stand and tell me your first and last name?
Lisa Martin.
Miss Martin, is the house in your father's name?
Yes.
Okay, that's it. That's all I need to know. All right, I'll take judicial notice of that,
Okay,
that
thank
the
you.
house is in your father's name. Anything else?
No, not as to that, no, actually, no, I have some motions now, yes, besides that.
All right, Mr. Martin.
And, okay, I move to dismiss based upon, my right to slavery, against slavery, that is, under the 13th Amendment.
I swear the judge just rolled her eyes. Did you all see
Wait,
that?
have you watched this before?
Me? No.
Oh
I was
God.
busy all day.
It gets
Like,
so oh yeah. You
my day yesterday. I
Yeah.
was on the road. I was everywhere yesterday. Yeah.
BS
This is my first viewing.
I saw you. Yeah, no, it gets much worse with her faces.
Yeah, he's just like, yeah, I have a motion dismiss. She's like, all right, give it to me. What do you got?
Things from the jump have been proceeded against my consent. I never consented. If it's ever fraudulently assumed I consented, again, it's fraudulent and it's not true and therefore violates my right to slavery.
Okay, denied. Next.
Um,
Mr. Martin, I'm going to start taking testimony soon. I've entertained about 10 motions to dismiss from you already this morning, so.
Had her energy drink.
I was hoping it was a White Claw.
That's all I can think of right now. I reserve my right to bring it up again if I think of it.
All right, at the end of the prosecutor's case, you can bring a motion if you have one, okay?
Okay.
All right, any other preliminary matters?
No, Your Honor, I did just want to place on the record that I did show all the digital evidence that we have in our possession to Mr. Martin.
Okay, he's indicated on the record that he watched those videos.
Yes.
So, okay, call your first witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. The people call Lisa Martin.
All right, Ms. Martin, come on up to the witness stand here. And Ms. Martin, when you get up here, I need you to stand and face me, okay? Now, can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay, if you can have a seat in the witness stand. Is Lisa Lisa?
Yes.
All right, you're a witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Ms. Martin. I want to direct your attention back to the date of June 12, 2025. Do you remember that date?
Yes,
Okay, and on that date, were you at or near location 9074 Clifford?
yes,
Is that in the city of Taylor, County of Wayne?
yes,
And what's at that location?
my house.
Okay, and who lives at that location?
Well, it's my house and both my brothers live there. I've
Who are
given
your
them an
brothers?
eviction notice.
Who are your brothers?
Eric Martin and I have another.
Can you
younger
pause it
brother,
already?
Kurt Martin.
I hate to
I'll go
keep
ahead,
talking,
sir.
but I wish you could literally they should make court for sovereign citizens like interactive. Like for this, they literally just went over, oh, whose house is it? Oh, it's in your dad's name. Okay, it's your dad's house. And then no less than 30 seconds on the stand, she's like, it's my house. It's my house.
Well, KFARR, here's what happened with that. Mom didn't want to throw Eric out of the house, which the father wanted to, and so did Lisa and her brother. When Dad died, he left Lisa the house, knowing that she would take care of her younger brother and boot Eric out. And she was in the process of doing that when she lost her employment and ran out of money. She was working on evictions against him, but she didn't have the next step to get
Funds.
to get the people to go out there and put him out. So theoretically the house is hers because it's on the will, but she's never filed to change the deed. And that's where it stands. So it's still Dad's house, even though Dad passed away.
Yeah. If she needs help, if she needs somebody to pick Eric Martin up and throw him out of the house.
I think
know some
you'd probably have about 30 names in the hat and have to have Miss Katie draw a name to see who the lucky person is.
Would be getting so many volunteers, I'd have to send people home. Like,
I happen to know a little bit about evictions, and I know that once the eviction is sent, once there's a writ of possession, once she gets a writ of possession to get him out of the house, then they schedule with the sheriff's office, and the sheriff will, depending on how much stuff he has, they require you to have movers there to put the stuff out at the street. I've never been in the situation where I was putting the stuff out myself, but from what I understand, the landlord or the owner of the property cannot be the one to actually touch that person's stuff and put it out. You have to hire a third party to do so. And KFARR, you could be the third party and just do it for free.
I just want to grab Eric Martin and just like Uncle Phil him out of the house. You know what I mean? Just maybe even get the little track as I throw him out.
I just want to
12 angles.
I just want to say different jurisdictions are different, and I am only talking about my personal experience. I don't want to like be putting out like I'm an expert on something. I'm not an expert on anything, I promise.
Coco wants to know, what did Eric get in the will? The garden hose? Probably didn't even get that.
Yeah, he didn't get anything. But now it's a moot point. Now they're going to lose the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sad.
Eviction notices, they're supposed to come out October 17th and they ain't out.
Okay, and Your Honor, the witness did point to Mr. Martin seated at the defense table with the, let the record reflect that the witness has identified Mr. Martin.
Do you have any objections to the identity of you?
Well, just the same objection from the jump that I'm not the defendant named in the complaint. It has a similar name to me.
Okay. All right. It's admitted. The record shall so reflect.
Thank you, Your Honor. Okay, and on that date, June 12, 2025, did something happen that day that brings you into court?
Yes.
What happened that day that brings you into court?
I was sitting at the kitchen table on my phone. My brother came through the back door.
And when you say your brother, you mean Mr. Martin or?
Yes.
Mr. Eric Martin?
Yes.
Okay.
Came through the back door, walked past me, went over to my little radio that I listened to. There was a volume level from 0 to 10. It was on 2. Okay. Just goes up to it, turns it down. He does this like 10 times a day. Went, turned it down, walked in his bedroom. I walked down the hall, stood at his door, and I said, you don't touch the radio. He goes, get out of my room. And he charges toward me and pushes me.
Where are you standing?
I'm standing right at the beginning of the bedroom.
Okay, like behind it, or are you in the bedroom?
No, I'm not in the bedroom. I'm standing right outside of it.
Okay, and Mr. Eric Martin is inside the bedroom and he charges at you?
Yes, yeah. He's at the furthest part of his bedroom, so about 7 feet away from me. And he said, get out of my room. And then he comes toward me and shoves me, knocks me off balance. I didn't fall. And then he pushed me again, but his hand like hit my neck right here. There was like a karate chop, but he didn't like try to karate chop.
All right, next question. You got to let her ask a question. She'll ask you, and then what happened? And then what happened?
Thank you. So you stated that you were knocked off your balance. How were you knocked off your balance?
When he shoved me.
And you're making this motion that you use both hands?
And the record shall reflect she's got both of her hands held up and pushing them away from her at shoulder height.
Thank you, Your Honor. Okay, and did you fall on the floor?
No.
Okay, and then you stated he tried to do that again?
Yeah, he tried to like push me again or something, but his hand like this, I don't know if it slipped, but it hit me like right here. And it hurt for a little bit, but I didn't, I was fine.
A record shall reflect the witnesses pointing to her neck area.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And then that was that. And I told him, I said, you don't learn about putting your hands on me. That was the 16th time in 4.5 years that it's been my house that he's put his hands on me.
Did you allow that sort of touching, that being shoved and?
No,
All right, just for the record, I'm not accepting the prior instances or allegations of prior instances, so that's stricken from the record.
Of course, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
Okay, and did you sustain any injuries at all?
Yes.
Okay, and what kind of injuries did you sustain?
A couple of days later, I noticed when I was getting dressed to go to the store that I had a bruise on my arm. So I took a picture of it, a couple of them, and then a week or 2 later, it was still there, and I took pictures of that.
Okay.
And the bruise just went away 5 days ago, so it was there for 3 weeks.
And would you recognize those pictures if you saw them here today?
Yes, they're my pictures.
Okay. And Your Honor, may I approach the witness?
Yeah, are these proposed exhibits?
Yes, Your Honor.
What are they?
They
Proposed
are
1, 2, and 3?
proposed 1 and 2.
Proposed 1 and 2. Okay, you can approach the witness.
Thank you.
I'd like to get a copy of those too.
You have a copy of those, Mr. Martin.
I don't have paper, what do you mean?
I thought those copy photos were.
I don't, I can show you 10 pages, I got it on.
I was provided with copies. I left them in that room because half of the picture was chopped off.
Okay, I'll get you a copy.
All right.
And then may I approach the
You
witness?
can approach.
Thank you. starting with People's Proposed Exhibit number 1. Do you recognize what I'm showing you?
No, that's my arm.
Okay, and,
It looks like a foot, but it's my arm.
okay, and do you recall what day this picture was taken?
Yes, there's dates on the
Can you
picture.
pause it real
It's
quick?
dated
I
on the
have
16th.
something extra
Okay,
to
and-
add.
Does this photo,
Yes, go ahead.
So this dipshit Eric Martin, because you guys don't dox Eric Martin in the chat, but I did go and look up his house, and by looking up his address, I found on Pacer a case from 2024 that just got updated Tuesday, March 18th, 2025. Bruto Bob, remember when he was in court with Judge Washington?
Yes.
He actually filed a lawsuit against Judge Washington, Prosecutor McDuffie, and 2 other people to having to do with that case, which I think was another, what was it? Driving with no license of his shitty motorcycle.
Yeah. Listen, listen to this testimony coming up, because she's going to say that he was calling her names, and the judge said what names, and Lisa says, I can't say I'm here, and the judge says, yes, you can. You're in court, and this is when you do it. But she didn't say that, he called her the C word or whatever he might have called her. We don't know, because she wouldn't say it, and that didn't make the judge happy either. Just watch the judge's face when she does that.
No, I've
here to
watched
manipulate-
this like 3 times, and I'm trying to watch it like it's my first time, like you. It's just, this is just so good. It's so good.
changed or altered in any
I
way?
have no idea any of that.
Okay, and Your Honor, moving to admit People's Proposed Exhibit number 1.
All right, does that accurately reflect the way your arm looked on that day?
Yes.
Any objections, Mr. Martin?
Yes, I object to the pictures being admitted based on, prosecutor told me, as I asked her, when was they taken, prosecutor admitted it was taken 4 to 7 days later from the alleged, this allegedly happened.
All right, she
And based on the
allegedly,
timeliness of it, I moved to dismiss it.
All right.
This violates my due process right to fairness. To
Okay.
timely-
Mr. Martin, the witness just testified that photo was taken on June 16th, which would be 2 days after the alleged incident. So that's her testimony.
It should have been taken immediately. And the
Do-
prosecutor, that disputes like this, what the prosecutor told me, it was 4 days to 7 days later.
Okay, do you have any other objections to the photo being admitted?
Besides the timeliness, it's not a current, well, I mean, it's not true.
Okay, okay,
That's-
it's admitted. You can
For my argument.
ask questions about the photos, but the photo's admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor. And for the record, the date of incident was the 12th of June, and the photo was taken on the 16th, so it was 4 days after.
4 days after, okay.
Okay, and then do you recognize, I'm handing you, it's marked as People's Proposed Exhibit number 2 as well. Do you recognize this photo?
Yes, that's my bruise still a week or 2 later. It's still looking like that.
Okay, and you recall the date of this photo?
I think it was 23rd,
Okay,
22nd and 23rd.
and did you take this photo?
Yes.
And does it at all appear to be manipulated, altered,
No.
or changed?
No,
Is that-
no, I took the photo.
And is that the same as how it looked on that day
Yeah.
it was taken? And Your Honor, the people are moving to admit People's Proposed Exhibit number 2 as well.
All right, do you have the same objection to the admission of this photo, Mr. Martin?
Yes.
All right, it's noted for the record. They're admitted over objection. 1 and
you,
2
Your
are
Honor.
admitted.
And Your Honor, may I publish the photos to the court as well?
You may.
Thank you. 16.
Okay. Ma'am, can you tell me where on your arm is that injury at? If you could just point to your arm, where is that?
It was right here.
All right, so in between the elbow and the shoulder.
Yeah,
On
it looks
the
like a
interior.
foot because my arm fat's hanging, but that's exactly where it was. See how it hangs?
Okay,
It was right here.
all right.
And
Record
you
should
can see one
indicate,
of my spots in the picture too. That's where it was.
all right, record should
And it just went
indicate.
away.
Miss Martin, let me make the record here. Record should indicate that the photograph, the witness has indicated that that is her left arm in between her elbow and her shoulder blade on the lower portion of her arm.
Thank you,
Or
Your Honor.
interior portion of her arm, we'll say. Okay,
And then, Your Honor, this is People's Exhibit number 2 from the 23rd.
okay, same area and location as the first
Right.
photo.
Yes, Your Honor.
It's still there.
And Ms. Martin, The photos that you were just shown, was that you stated that that was the left interior of your arm. Was that the same, was that the same area that you were shoved in earlier on that day? On the 12th?
Yeah, when I was shoved, like I said, it takes a while for a bruise to appear. It doesn't appear immediately.
Okay,
So when I noticed it, that's when I took the picture.
okay, and what happened after this incident?
What happened
After you were
after he pushed me?
Yes.
Well, after he pushed me, I said, boy, you got your nerve to put your hands on me again. You don't learn, do you? And I called the cops, and it took about 25 minutes for the cops to get there.
And did the police arrive?
Yeah, about 25 minutes later, and the whole time he's yelling at me from the bedroom, calling me names, laughing, thinking he's gonna get arrested, whatever. I ended up going on the porch because I didn't want to hear him.
I'm sorry to pause it already, but 25 minutes seems like an extremely long time for a police response to a domestic.
I would have to see what their call log looked like. If it was like a random Tuesday and there was 2 calls, you'd probably get them there in like a minute and a half. But if there's 10 to 15 calls,
And it also depends on what the 911 call sounded like too. I would assume, like if it didn't sound too serious, like, you know,
just to, back in my day, Ed, if you're still here, we would get a call for the same guy in the same house or same neighborhood every week for 6 months.
Yeah.
And sometimes he'd get arrested and sometimes he wouldn't. Sometimes it was, hey, he's yelling on his porch. Other times it was, he thinks he lost his phone. He's beating on windows with a baseball bat and his phone is in his pocket. Like that type of shit. If it was him yelling on the porch, you get moved to the end of the queue. If you're...
What is Dexter getting into back there?
I have no idea. But yeah, if it's him yelling, end of the queue. If it's him with a baseball bat, top of the queue. Hey, it's Eric Martin beating his sister again, which kind of seems like they were, I hate to say this, it kind of seems like they just beat on each other.
Yeah.
So it's just like, maybe you're not the most priority on the queue.
Yeah, I guess.
That's all I hear every day, all day
By the
long.
way, this is why you need to take your personal safety into your own hands, people. You never know if it's going to take the cops 45 minutes or 25 minutes to show up to your house if something happens.
What he was saying.
Nothing I could say in here, just the usual.
You can say it in here. It's a court of law, ma'am. If you remember what he said, you have to say it.
Swearing, calling me names. I'm lying when I never told a lie in my life, but I lied.
What kind of names were you being?
I don't even remember. I'm so used to this every day in my home. I ended up going on the porch, waiting for the cops to come. They came, they asked me what happened. They went in the house. They called him out of the bedroom. He came down to the end of the hall. They asked him what happened.
And were you present when they were questioning him?
Yes, I was standing in the kitchen.
Okay, do you recall what he said?
Well, what happened was the cops asked him what happened. He said he turned down the radio because it was cat abuse. And then he told the cops I was lying. And then when I heard that, that's when I opened my mouth. I said, I'm not lying. I don't lie. And they're like, okay, be quiet to me. And then they arrested him. And of course, as they arrested him,
I don't like this lady. I don't like her. I know she's the victim, but what I've noticed in life, I have experience in life, people who are trying to convince you that they don't lie are usually the biggest flippin' liars. Like if you have to say you're not a liar, I don't lie, you're probably lying.
Yeah, especially if you, like we said, yeah, my camera's being weird. Especially because she just keeps pounding and trying to like hit it home. I don't lie.
Yeah,
I've never lied.
She said it like 4 times already.
It's just like by you repeating it that many times, it makes me think you are lying.
I feel like she is. Like I don't want. I mean, just coming at this with no other information, not knowing. Like if I put out of my head that I already know who Eric Martin is.
Yeah.
Like if with no further information, just listening to her testimony, if I'm on the jury, I don't believe her.
Yeah, if you go in with no Eric Martin lore, you're just a raw dog in this case. You're just like,
yes, which is how the justice system should be, by the way. This is how it's supposed to work. you know. So
Catch number, I'm gonna get you guys fired, the usual, they just laugh at them, laugh out, yeah.
All right,
And then, and that's it, and they took them.
all right, thank you, Ms. Martin. Nothing further. for this
All right,
witness.
Mr. Martin, do you have any, let me ask you this first.
did her mic go up?
Examine the,
No, okay.
the
So
arm
did you
though,
see
too.
it back there?
Do you want to watch?
Oh,
No.
Sam.
What happened?
do you see that little? It's a remote. It's right behind her on that desk.
Oh,
Normally, if she has a lot of things in person, she'll keep the stream going, but she'll mute everything, so you can just see her and whatever's happening, but you can't actually see the case.
Gotcha.
And she's still kind of like going, like if you watched the morning and the afternoon, that's why I asked Brutal Bob about the morning court, because she talked for like 2 seconds and then muted everything. So you knew it was Eric Martin, you knew what kind of was going on, but you couldn't hear anything.
Gotcha. Well, we have it paused. Pitching in for you know what. Have a great show. Yes, thank you. Dogs get treats. We'll give them good treats. We'll give them the good ones.
There you go. Go get banana chips.
Thank you, GS.
The Martin family is a poster child for a dysfunctional family.
Yeah.
Accurate. Yeah, this whole trial read to me two siblings just bickering.
Yeah.
I want to make sure, you know, it's where they're at, supposedly. Where.
Well, they're not there anymore. She's shown us her arm in court. But I'll have her do it. Ma'am, can you just show your arm again? Where you had
Where it was?
Where the bruises?
What?
Don't talk to him.
I will
Wait,
stand up.
hey!
No, I was just saying, I'll stand
No,
up.
shh, quiet. Just listen. We're gonna get through this. Lift up your sleeve and show me. All right, see that, Mr. Martin?
Right here. There's
I'm
my
really
arm
careful
hanging,
here.
it was
I'm
right
really
here.
All right,
not-
thank you, ma'am. Listen, I'm gonna tell you two right now, we're not arguing back and forth. He has a right to ask you questions. Just do your best to answer his questions so we can,
Oh, I was just standing up, I wasn't arguing.
okay, I know, but I'm just, see, like, just, okay, go.
Just
Mr. Martin,
shut
what's your
up.
next question?
No, before I get to the question, I want to examine the arm closely.
You know, I'm not gonna allow you to, Miss Martin, stop. I'm not gonna allow you to go up to the witness and examine the arm closely. She's shown it on the trier of fact. I've seen her arm, I've seen it. What's
Now,
next?
for the record, I can't see from this distance, sir.
Okay, well, I'm not gonna allow you to approach the witness like
All
that.
right, well, anyway, now the videos, I want the court to review the videos. I don't even get to that yet before, you know, after the question, whatever, but I want the videos reviewed in support of my arguments now, where the cops entered the house. That's actually only one video, so,
Are you moving for the admission of a video?
yeah. But
Is this a-
when they came in the house.
Is there a body worn camera video?
There is a body worn camera
That
on the
one.
interior of the house.
How lengthy is the video?
It's not that long.
Do you have any objections to the admission of that video?
I have no objection to it.
All right, this is stipulated exhibit 3.
If I was
If
the
you want to,
prosecutor,
you can put
I
it
would
on
have
Zoom
fought
if
to-
you want, if you just,
I would have fought to not get the video put in,
Why?
because it just makes her look like an idiot. If
The
that makes sense.
sister?
Like the sister, yeah. It just makes the witness look shitty, because she could obviously, Brutal Bob can vouch for this. You've seen it on enough body cams. I've seen it in enough body cams. If you have a situation like a domestic where it's two parties, you want those two parties to be separate so you can talk to them. She was not about that shit. She wanted to be in his like conversation with the cops.
Well, also, if somebody just assaulted me, and why am I sticking around? Why am I not walking down the street and calling the cops from down like on the corner somewhere? Why am I staying, trying to get as close as I can to this person that just assaulted me? It doesn't make any sense.
I can answer that one for you, knowing and talking to her. It's her house. She's not leaving it.
I mean, she could have been in a different room.
She could. I think.
I don't know how big the house is.
So it's
Small.
it's not the largest.
I mean, it's not a studio apartment though. There's another room.
No. I believe they said something about go on the porch. So
Yeah,
that she was
lock
just like
yourself in the bathroom.
out of their hair, and she
Yeah.
was just. And like I said, if I was a prosecutor, I'd have been like, we don't need to watch.
Do you have that
yet.
video somewhere? Can we watch it?
It's in the case. That's
Oh, are
the
we
reason
going to
I'm
see
talking
it?
about. It's just a heads up for anybody who hasn't watched this yet. It is either the worst body cam ever, or there was an issue uploading it to wherever they uploaded because it is just garbage.
Oh.
But you can hear enough where you're like, yeah, that probably shouldn't
Yeah.
have.
It happens. I remember
Yeah.
paying good money for a body cam video one time that ended up being garbage.
Yeah, I remember all about that. I have a funny story for after the stream about that.
I think-
that same body cam.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we might be talking to the same people. We might have the same
Yeah.
story.
Wanna-
KFAR,
If you're in
Sorry.
the Zoom.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
Hey,
Bob.
I want to answer Ed here. He wanted to know about the new neighbor and if our property value doubled when you left. Actually, the neighborhood has gone down with the loss of KFAR, and nobody has moved into the house yet.
Maybe I should just go buy KFAR's old house.
Do it.
Change all the locks.
Do it. I promise I
don't
won't
wanna
walk
live
in
in-
the back door. I
I
promise.
don't want to live in Michigan. It's too cold
Hey.
there. Sorry. This is just not for me. I'm sure some people love it.
I do.
Their screen. And then I can see it and the witness can see it and defendant can see it.
Your Honor, there are multiple videos, if I may ask which one he's referencing to.
I think it's the 5-minute one with just entering the house. I think there's only one on that. The other ones are,
The
The
squad
car.
car?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll let you into Zoom when I see you. We're in Judge Slavin's Zoom today.
I'm still looking for it.
I know that's the fake BSBT, but that would be the
I
greatest thing
just saw
ever.
that sitting.
That would be the greatest thing ever. Is if real
funny.
BSBT squatted in my old house.
That would be
That would
so
be
funny.
just tremendous. The live streams would be wild.
He pops up one day streaming from your old set.
Yeah, with like a hobo garbage can fire in the background.
Yes. Is it doing it?
Oh, it's going.
Okay.
It's
Your
very
Honor, may I get
slowly.
the meeting code for Judge Slavin?
Yeah, ready? It's 555-993-6534.
And like I was talking about, so she's running Judge
I'm joining the
Slavin's
meeting room right now.
court,
Okay.
so they're having to run everything through like
Let me get
his
you in and I'll make you
system.
co-host.
Oh. Okay. Was he just out sick or something?
He's probably on vacation. He probably knew this motherfucker Eric Martin was going to be in court, and he's like, "I'm going to be anywhere but here.
Time to schedule a Disney cruise.
Yeah,
Later,
like-
guys.
I got to go to Mars or something on that day. Sorry, can't make it."
Oh, so you can share screen.
Thank you.
I can't make her co-host. Do we still have the check-in clerk? Is she still here?
She's on the screen.
How do I get that job? Be the
It looks
tech
like we might
clerk.
have her. Okay.
You'd be better at it, I think.
I couldn't be much worse.
Okay, Your Honor, I'll be playing this from 00.
Okay.
Yeah, see what I'm talking about? It's just
There's 30 seconds of silence in every body cam video, guys. I know if somebody dubs music over the silence, they think it's edited, but it's not.
yeah, this is just the most garbage. Like, it looks like we're watching Booze and Body Cam. That's what it looks like.
It does. There's no audio? We're 53 seconds in. And the court's
You might have to-
system is feeding back.
That's what I'm saying. I couldn't do much worse.
I don't believe it's supposed to.
Oh my
Mute your
goodness.
audio and see what happens.
I'm already.
GE swag. Rumor has it nobody's
Disconnect
actually
from the
gotten
video.
the real Wrangler body cam.
Really? Nobody, huh?
We've been waiting
Okay.
patiently for months, but
A long time. Like, I feel like I have to request this body cam just so I can put it out properly because this is garbage. Who's running the show over
that's
here?
what I'm saying. Like,
What?
y'all couldn't have like done this better. That's why I
What
said
is happening?
either their system for playback is just garbage, or they have body cams from 20 years ago.
There are free versions of programs that the court could use to play this better. Like,
Can I say something?
No, she
What
asked
do
if she
they-
could say something. I told her no.
What do they do all?
what?
What do they do all day?
This family?
If none of them have like jobs or are working, like what do they do all day?
Well, KFARR, obviously
Maybe-
they sit in the kitchen and listen to the radio at volume level 2.
2 out of 10.
2. And then the other one goes and audits. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just
Whatever he
like-
does.
I'm just sitting there and I'm just like, maybe that's why they're constantly fighting. They're constantly just poking at each other for 12 hours every day.
I am enjoying this door that is duct taped back together. That's interesting touch.
I bet
I've
you-
never seen that decorating technique.
I bet you no one named Eric Martin punched that door. You know, a long night of stealing mail trucks from the post office. You just come home and punch your door.
Yeah.
And she's correct, Ron.
I do have to say, I will
So-
admit, people who've been to my house know this. Almost all of the doors in my house have holes in them because they were there when we moved in. And I kept saying, "Oh, we can get new doors. It's fine. We'll get new doors." That was 18 years ago. We have not got new doors yet. So it's on the list of, it's on the
I
to-do
can
list.
say I don't have any.
Doors are expensive.
Yeah, doors ain't cheap. You know what also isn't
got-
cheap? Fancy doorknobs for your front door.
Why do you need a fancy doorknob?
Because the door currently has a fancy doorknob and we're trying to replace it because the insides are garbage. But
Oh, gotcha.
because they got a fancy one, it's
'Cause it's
painted
fancy.
and cut to be fancy. So we had to personal
You have a
problem. with my-
fancy. You have a new fancy doorknob now?
yeah. Yeah. Wish I had Eric Martin's doorknob though, which seems to be no doorknob.
I need to get new
As
doors,
I'm-
man.
As I'm looking where a doorknob should be, and there's just tape.
So, yeah.
This is not the video, the 5 he was referencing.
That's when it violated the bond.
And I do think this is funny. Eric Martin wants to watch the rest of one of these videos, and the prosecutor's just like, nah, and just keep scrolling. What do they do all day? Meth. Hey, you might be right.
I believe this is the correct video from the 12th, Your Honor. I'm playing from 00.
Okay.
damn it, Ed. I just looked
Mr.
at my
Martin, is
thing.
this the video you're looking for?
Oh, let's take a look.
Well, no, look on the TV screen. We made it real big so you could see it.
Okay, well, they're not in the house yet.
Well, they'll get there.
I really wish Ed's comments popped up on Restream so I could put it on the screen, but they don't.
Ed said when I'm like, oh, I'll go be the IT person. He says KFARR will run the court IT department from a $200 laptop.
She likes it, and she know what happened. I heard.
Your Honor, I believe this is the wrong video as well.
Yes.
But there's another one I do want to look at. Well, yeah, I still want to use that one too as support, but keep going just until my brother gets done saying something and the original stuff. This is over to Casey.
Nope.
Go ahead, keep going a little bit.
They're gonna keep it scrolling, Eric Martin. Oh, let's just watch this till my brother gets done saying nope. Right on. This should be 80,000 times more efficient than it is. Like you didn't label them like Eric Martin trial 1 video.
I kind of understand because I've requested like court case stuff like this where it's a bunch of files and there's no organization. It is tons of data to
They
dig
just
through and figure
shotgun
out.
it into a folder for you.
It's just here is everything. Do with it whatever you want. It's like it took me that one case. There was so much stuff. It took me like a month and a half just to go through and label everything.
Erica, do I need
Like
a new laptop? Yeah, I do.
Okay,
This one's 31 minutes.
If we could skip ahead to the.
Yeah, you want to see what happens, what you want me to see what happened in the house. Is that correct, Mr.
Yes, I'm
Martin?
saying, but as she's playing, I just want to go further. Keep playing that when you just play my brother. He makes a statement. I just want to go to there, don't stop it, and then you can go to that video. But I want to play that one.
Well, this is the one that's admitted. This is the one you wanted. So let's get through this and then you could try and move for the admission of another video. Well, let me see that. And just for the record, this is Exxon body cam 6/12/25. It looks like it's hours 22-27-44. So we'll start with this one. And if you want to fast forward it to
For the record, that's at 1:39.
okay.
You turn it up its way to go.
Can you make the audio any louder?
That's as loud as it's going.
There's no way to connect to the speakers in here.
It'll, no, because of the feedback.
Huh?
He's trying.
Do you want me to just watch the videos?
He's trying to correct the audio on the fly. He's like, well, you have speakers right there. And the judge is like, no, there'll be feedback. Like, I can't believe they can't get their shit together with this.
Maybe.
Like, do they not have this in court all the time where there's video evidence of stuff? It's crazy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You would think like in 2025, they would have their system down to play video evidence in court.
Yeah.
But no, they're taking hints from Eric Martin of all people.
It's crazy. I'm more flabbergasted with the AV department at this courthouse than anything else.
Wixom, that's what I was. I think that's what I maybe I talked to Brutal Bob about this. I don't know. I've been talking about this for like 2 days. I think he'll be back in court for something similar, like within the month, because they just can't not pick at each other. And when they pick at each other enough, one of them calls the cops.
I don't know. I really want to see all these body cams too. This is not good.
You can do that, then yeah, I guess that would be better.
Can I see the computer so I can see the audio?
Yes, Your Honor.
Or so I can hear the audio?
Thank God it's not a jury trial. It's just a bench trial.
31 minutes?
Yeah. I could see the jury gathered around a laptop watching.
I was going to say, yeah,
Out of
one
12 of them.
janky laptop that they have to like pass back and forth so they can all hear it.
12 jurors and 2 alternates.
Yeah.
This is number 16. Hi, today. This answer, since it's in my house. Hopefully a little. Was it nothing major? Like I'm not hurt or nothing. No, but I'm fucking touch. Oh, I can lie and say I can't. I'm fucking lie. I don't call the cops on you, Eric, unless you put your hands on me. Then, oh, shut up, that bitch. Shut up, that bitch. Big nose bitch. I'll do what I want. She felt like that's simple. When he walked past him, and I said, oh, I said, I don't know where you got this.
So he pushed you.
Yeah, because he's also put his hand on my face before. Yes, my dad has never, 50 years of marriage, put his hands on my mother. Yeah, he's got a rap sheet and tail like this. You guys should know him. You know.
Eric, police. Eric, come out here. Come talk to us, Eric. Yeah, she's just a liar. She's trying to just. All right, what's going on tonight, man? Well, I was turning the radio down, and the city girl, the cat always lays by the radio. And I turn it down, so she's not doing her cat abuse. I turn the radio loud in her ear. She don't. It was
like this. He always says this.
So I just turn it down, so it's not blasting her. She gets all emotional about it, tries to control everything. She lets her emotions go loud. It's usually. Just let him talk. You already talked.
My house.
Ma'am.
I know.
Outside.
No, I'm trying to get him in all day.
I'm trying to get this side of the story.
I'm just saying.
Ma'am.
He touches it 10 times a day.
Stop talking over us.
Eric Martin, the model.
Anyway, so that's I turn the radio down. She goes wild and crazy, and I sit and tells a lie about I assault her, and she's not a lie. And I want to mention she tried to do this shit before. A total lie in court. It is on camera. The judge, prosecutor.
I'm assuming we just got Colin rated. And you're muted.
Dang it. I was just saying, I know this probably isn't the case, but just judging from what I've seen in this trial so far, I think that she called the police because he turned down her radio and he never touched her at all. I really do. I really do.
It's like I said, it's like they just pick on each other, and then she calls the cops. And yeah, I'm assuming, okay, yeah, just got rated. Is this Eric Martin? Yes. Eric Martin,
Hello,
the sovereign citizen / model, who is just
He's
posting
like
up on the
like
wall,
this.
just like, how you guys doing? This is your 3rd time here this week. Yeah, this is what I was talking about, where it's just like, ma'am, you can go anywhere but here. Like,
I don't trust
pick weeds in the
her
backyard.
as far as I can throw her. I don't trust her at all.
I was actually going to say that about Eric Martin, but then when you find out he's 5'3", 130 pounds, it's like, damn, I could chuck Eric Martin quite far.
Yeah, you throw him pretty far. I don't trust either of them.
His lawn darts.
I don't trust any of them. None of them.
Yeah, and welcome to the judges, the plight of Judge Shackelford.
I know. This poor.
Who I trust the least.
Yes.
So, for example, she's seen it me before, so right? Whatever. And she lied. That was it.
She told a lie in my entire life. Okay.
You need to stop.
Just believe I've never told a lie ever.
You need to stop.
Again with the even back here on the day that this happened, she's proclaiming to everyone over and over again, I've never lied once in my life.
I've never told a lie.
Man,
not even once.
You sound like a liar when you're not, thou protest too much. Oh.
All right, you're both concerned. I'm going to put it back. I told you she's not around. You're going to arrest her for lie. That's like that's weird. You're going to arrest for DV. You can't arrest someone for someone for lie. I'm telling you, she lied. Stop talking. What is your name? Oscar Gifford. Okay, you're going to lose your job. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just going to lose your job.
You have the right to arrest me with no benefit. No, they don't have to. You're violating due process. She lied before, and it's on camera.
I've never lied a day in my life, so how would I lie? How do you know?
The credibility's already shot. It's in the court. She lied before. We're going to take a walk through. What's up? Yeah, it's right here.
All the
what you're doing, man?
Both my brothers are evicted. They should have been out of here 7 months ago.
Well, he's
I shouldn't have to put up with this abuse.
He's going to jail tonight, man.
I know he's going to jail, but I'm just, yes, I'm just sick of them saying, oh, she's lying. I have never told a lie in my entire life.
Never lied.
But that's
Whole
what they
life.
both say.
Never lied, not
I
once.
know that, but
What's your first name, man?
Lisa,
What's your middle name?
K-A-Y,
What's your last name?
Martin, M-A-N-K. Oh, there,
What's your
you
name?
know, good job.
Ma'am.
11/22/69. Oh, he showed up 1,000 lawsuits.
What's a good phone number for you?
734-512-608.
I'm just skipping that ahead.
Yeah, that's good.
Second.
That wasn't
That's
me.
the part, okay, that's further because I was
Because
relevant.
he does that, he has one time, one line 10 times a day.
That's all you wanted me to hear on that? Okay.
Mayor Pro Tem.
You may.
Good.
Thank you.
Eric Martin shut it
And
down.
I,
Good.
All right, hold on,
okay.
hold on. Mr. Martin, you're cross-examining the witness. Okay, now you've had me see the video. Do you have any questions for the witness?
Yes, but I just want to point out in case, let me do it.
Well, that's
before-
safe
As-
for argument. Mr. Martin, you get to make your legal arguments or your factual arguments at the end of the case. We're in cross-examination. So I've watched the video. It's been admitted. Do you have any questions for the witness?
If you've
What was-
never watched a trial from start to finish in your life, you should never be representing yourself ever. But it seems to me he doesn't even know how trials work.
Yeah, wait till the very end. He gets confused on a very, very basic legal term or court process term. And I'm just like, oh yeah, you're an idiot. Well, you heard the judge at the beginning. Oh, you've already done like 10 motions to dismiss today.
Yeah.
It's like
None of
maybe
them
that's
work.
why your attorney was like, hey, yeah, we're not gonna do that because they were bullshit.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. I'm just saying I want some more motions to make that, remember,
Okay.
to dismiss.
No, go. Ask her questions.
All right. Stay right here.
No, Mr. Martin, stay there, but you can ask questions. There's a microphone right there.
I was going to the podium, there's no usual procedure.
They probably didn't want to see what was in the room. They felt the
They
floor moving,
obviously
and they're just like,
they were not thinking of us when they were
No.
there.
no.
We see videos a lot where the cops know that they're going to be on booze and body cams, and they just
Yeah.
make sure everything's just perfect for us. These cops, not so much. You
No.
can't win
Yeah,
them
like-
all.
They thought it was like Indiana Jones, where the floor was moving, but they didn't want to know why it was moving, so they just kept the
They
lights
saw-
off.
They saw
The bed
something on the
bugs
corner
started
of their
talking
eye.
to them.
Yeah, the roaches crawling on the walls.
All right, you made a statement before, true, that I don't know the law. True or false?
True.
Based on what?
You don't know the law. All you do is break the law for 40 years.
So what is that statement based on then?
I have advice for relevance.
It's irrelevant. Next question.
You said the house is yours. You said that several times.
Yes, it is mine,
Your Honor, I object to
but it's not in my
relevance.
name. It is mine. I have to go prove it.
And I've taken judicial notice that the house and the city of Taylor is under your father's name. Both parties agree to that. So next question.
Okay. You made the statement that I've been evicted, true or false?
Yes, you
Your
got
Honor,
certain.
again, relevance.
How's that relevant, Mr. Martin?
Attack or credibility?
All right, go ahead.
And well, has any formal proceedings been filed in court ordered by a judge that?
Well, those are two different questions. So wait, if he's gonna try and attack her credibility, the first question was, you asked you asked her what, if she had ever evicted you, right? So let's, wait, let her answer that question, yes or no?
Yes, he was served an eviction from here, you get the paper. He was
Okay.
served it September 17th.
All right,
He was supposed
one
to be out
sec.
October
Oh,
17th.
next question.
Has a judge ordered me evicted, yes or no?
No, you did not get out October 17th and you haven't left.
Have you filed official paperwork in any courthouse or this courthouse?
Judge, I don't see the relevance.
Let me just, I'm giving him some leeway. He's in pro per. I don't know where he's going with it, so I'm gonna allow it. Go on, Mr. Martin.
You filed any paperwork in court that actually got me, or that caused me to be evicted, yes or no?
Yes, I went to the court window when you walk in and go to the right and got the paper for the eviction, filled it out, handed you the copy. I have the other copy. You were supposed to have been out October 17th.
That's
So
not
you-
how
did you
evictions work.
Initially, officially file it with the court clerk, yes or no?
Yes, I got the paper from the court clerk.
And do you have any proof of that, like stamp?
You have the copy, I have the original.
But no, okay, well, anyway, so no judge issued an order, you said again, right? No judge issued an order,
No, I did not see a judge.
okay? I didn't ask, did you see one? Did one issue an?
Well, it sounds like maybe she filed a 30-day notice to quit and gave you notice, but then an eviction case was not brought because you never saw a judge. Does that sound about right? Okay, next question. I got it.
It's like I'm doing all of the
But you
work.
said in the videos several times, you never told a lie in your life.
That's right.
Now you say I pushed you. How many times did I push you?
You already heard that.
Answer the question, ma'am, no
Twice.
argument.
And where in the body was that supposedly?
Obviously on my arms, since I have a big bruise for 3 weeks. And then the second time, like I said.
Well, the picture's not clear. I see the point in this area around the left shoulder. The other picture's unclear. Where on the
Judge,
body
I
that's
would
supposed to
object
be?
and ask that defense formulate his statement in a question.
Yeah, you have to ask questions. You can't just
I did.
you're testifying.
Where is it on the body? Where is it on the body? Besides the other one that's by the left shoulder, I'm asking her, where is the other supposed bruise? What do you call it?
There is only the one.
So now there's one.
All the pictures are of the same bruise.
Okay, I understand. Next question.
Is
Mr.
it-
Martin, she testified that one of the bruises, the first picture was taken on the 16th of that area on her arm. And then she testified the second photo was the exact same area on the 23rd where the bruises were still there. That was what she testified to.
Yes.
Okay, isn't it true that you have been bit by some type of bug causing?
This overruled. Go
You
ahead.
hurt my gosh,
Why am I not surprised that she's getting bitten by bugs in her house?
That's why nobody who said it. I have to give you credit because I wasn't even thinking about this, and then you said it, and then I'm like, okay, Todd, they can't turn the lights on because no one is paying the power bill, and that's because they know that there's bugs everywhere, so they're like, nah, better off with no power.
Also, have you ever been bitten by a bug that caused a bruise? I don't think I am, and I am a magnet for bug bites, by the way. They love
Can't say
me.
I have.
No. Yeah, that's a different, like it feels, I've had butt bites to where it feels like a bruise, but there's not an actual visible bruise there.
GJM. America,
she's got-
why do you allow these fools to represent themselves? Especially after some of the alleged psychologist comments from the Michigan Department of Corrections. I don't know how this guy is allowed to represent himself. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
A right to do that. She's a prosecutor. She's objecting to irrelevant questions or questions she believes are irrelevant. That she's doing her job. But I'm giving you leeway to see where you're going.
I think they're a little too quick because I didn't hear me out.
Okay, go on, Mr. Martin.
But isn't it true that you've been bit by a bug before, causing you to have a skin condition in your
Yes.
arms?
Scarred, yeah, my arms are scarred. And bottom of my legs. What is that bad with it?
I'll get to that in argument, but, okay, that's the question. Thinking other questions. Okay, so is it true that, I turn the radio down? I guess you admit that, I guess I don't need you to, you already admitted you turn the radio down. Isn't it true that, Kitty Girl the cat was laying by the radio when I turned it on?
I don't remember where she was at. It's none of your business to touch my radio. If it was on full blast, it's none of your business to touch it in my
Just
house.
answer the question. Do you remember the cat being by the radio, yes or no?
No, I don't
All
remember.
right, next
Yeah.
question. She doesn't remember. Next question.
It was on volume 2.
No more. Next question. It's irrelevant. Quite frankly, whether or not the cat was by the radio means nothing to me as a trier of fact. Next question.
Knows the law.
I know, but you don't know how to be quiet and answer questions.
I'm answering them.
Ma'am.
Also, if the cat was uncomfortable sitting next to the speaker, cats will move if they're uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
That's yes. This is where it gets spicy because, like I said, she did a lot of her docket in the morning and then was trying to knock out Judge Slavens in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And a lot of the video was them going like cell to cell, talking to whoever was in the jail. And one of them, I want to say the guy in like cell 11, was trying to be loud and crazy and kept trying to say that he was related to like one of the bigger like Michigan sportscaster people. And the judge is just like, okay. So just throughout the day, if you watched, she was just getting like more and more, I'm fucking done with this. And now there's still 30 minutes. She's just laying it all out there. She doesn't even care anymore.
She's done. She wants to go home and have a Red Bull or
And
a
not deal
White
with
Claw.
fucking Eric Martin. I just hope the
Yeah.
next time we see Eric Martin, it's not for domestic. It's something driver's license related, because I don't think I could take another trial of him just bickering back and forth with his sister.
I hope it is, but I hope it's that the sister beats the shit out of him.
I hope
in case to watch.
I hope they find themselves in an octagon somewhere, say mutual combat, and then they record it and send it to me. That's what I
put my money on her. She's like twice his size. He's a little
yeah,
itty bitty guy.
especially after this, she's probably super pissed.
Yeah.
Hey, KFARR, talking about those
Do not
jackets.
respond to me again. If I ask you to answer the question and
Is
then
that-
quit talking, just
Here,
quit
pause it real
talking.
By the way, I
Next.
put it on the screen and I gave the dogs treats, but thank you, Sharky Wit, for the
Sharky
Wit.
$2.
The court is about closed right here. Somewhere in here, they close at 4 o'clock, and they were still going on. We went on another 45 minutes.
Yeah, like I said, we still got 30 minutes in this, and I sped it up, and that killed 20 minutes of this stream. So yeah, it's even longer than what it's saying.
She was more than ready to go home.
Yeah.
Next question.
You have a receipt for the radio since you alleged it's your radio.
Irrelevant. Next question.
I object to you saying it's relevant because
I don't care. I'm the judge and I said it's irrelevant. Next question.
Dang.
Is it true that a case was dismissed before?
Sorry, we'll have to wait a second to get to that question because we have another $5 super chat from Unfortunate Altar Boy. Absolutely love the doggies. I do too. Hold on, I'll put them on the screen. They're there. Here, Zena, catch. Here, Ava. Have a milk bone. I appreciate it.
Dexter says hello.
Dexter doesn't have his camera on tonight, but he's here. Look, there he is.
No, I had to.
Now he's gone.
I had to steal it earlier so that I was trying to switch it to that camera and then switch it back to this one. And then I'm like, shit, I have to back out and then come back in.
It happens. I used my Xena cam for like half the stream the other night.
Where you testifying that you never saw it.
That you never what? I just didn't hear you. I just
asking her, has a case been dismissed before with me that you tried to bring against me, alleging I attacked you? And I asked you, did you swing me before? And you said no. But the judge has seen on the video that wasn't true.
Judge, I'd object to relevance on this as
Oh,
well.
I can explain that.
All right, well, let's, I don't know if it's relevant or not.
It's not.
I mean, does it go to her credibility? Maybe. So I'm gonna, go ahead, explain it.
I've never swung at him, for one. This video he's talking about, the first time that he didn't put his hands on me, he kicked me in the stomach back, and I called the cops. We had a Zoom meeting with Slavin on that. I couldn't do Zoom at that time on my phone. My boss let me do Zoom on hers while I was at work. I went in the conference room. I let them know that this phone's gonna die any minute. They said, if it does, call this number back. So as he was representing himself again, asked me a question, something, the phone died. I called the number right back and they said, the judge dismissed it. I said, how? He kicked me in my stomach for no reason.
Okay.
And they said he showed a video to the judge. Well, there's no video of me ever coming at him. So what he showed, he basically committed perjury. He showed a video of years ago when he grabbed my wrist so hard and I had to fling my arm like loose. That would be the only video that he could have showed Judge Slavin
All right.
for him to dismiss it.
Okay.
That had nothing to do with him kicking me in my stomach of what this was about.
All right, Mr. Martin, next question.
I don't know if I'm just super privileged or what, but I can't imagine a time in like even say the last 20 years that if I had to be on my cell phone, I could not get to a place where either my phone was fully charged, before the trial or court date, or I was next to a plug where I could have my phone plugged in.
So my phone has been known to die. And I just stopped caring about plugging it in. But if I was like in court for a domestic, that bitch is going to be at 100%. I'm going to have headphones. I'm going to be like the perfect little angel. Like, but these people just have no idea how to be like adults.
That's what I'm saying. I just don't. Like I said, I understand phones die. The world is an imperfect place, but then you park your butt next to a plug and you plug it in. I just maybe I have too many phone cords. Maybe that's my privilege. I'm not sure. Like I always have one with me, and if I don't, I ask somebody and I say, "Hey, do you have a C charger? Can I borrow it for 10 minutes?" You know.
Todd, can we have a drink every time one of his objections gets overruled? No, I only have 3 of these left. And then I'll have to go out tomorrow during the day to get more for Booze and Body Cam tomorrow.
Will you? Okay.
So I will be willing to
You
drink.
have a show tomorrow night.
Yeah, I'll get more.
The look on her face right here at this pause is like, can we just be done? Are you serious with this?
Yeah, and like I said, it only gets worse.
Yeah.
Question.
And he's been in jail for so long, he should have a list of questions he's just been dying to ask.
Yeah.
But he's just winging it.
Is it true that after I turned the radio down?
Hold on, before we get to the next question. Let's do this one more time. Thank you so much. You guys are so generous tonight. I appreciate you. I keep seeing Ava's feet in the camera, and they look like they're red, but it's the reflection from that purple light onto her feet. She does not have purple feet in real life. Because I look over and they don't look purple, but on the camera they do. I thought maybe she was like had some sort of something wrong with her paws.
Ed, these are the last of it was a golf club, okay? Full of booze. So there's only 3 left.
Somebody DoorDash KFARR some drinks.
No, I think I'll be good until tomorrow.
That's good.
That you went to my room, getting in my face.
No, I didn't even
Oh,
walk in
my
the room.
face.
Wait, okay, that was her answer. Now, what was your next question?
Did you go to my room after that? Told me he was going to go to my room, invest with something in my room after I turned the radio on. Did you do that?
I didn't even go in your room, which is really my room, this is my house, but no, I was on the outside.
All I'm hearing is, oh my God, you're not, have you watched Step Brothers?
Like when it came out, was that like 20 years ago?
When he's like, I'm going to go put my nuts on your drum set.
Oh yeah.
That's basically what they're talking about right now. You said you were going to go into my room and mess with my stuff. Yeah, she put her nuts right on your pillow, Eric Martin.
These people are like 60 years old, right? Didn't she say she was born in 1960 something?
I want to say 69. I know he's 50 something.
How old are you if you're born in 1969? Somebody in the chat do math for me. Thank you. I can't math. My brain doesn't math.
You said get out of my room, charge toward me, and that's when you pushed me.
Did you not touch my drum set? Yeah, that's all I hear.
Questions I can think of right now.
All right, any redirect?
Just one question. Miss Martin, could you have gotten that bruise any other way?
No,
Okay, you
I
wouldn't
never
have
left the
hospital or
house,
anything?
never left the house, didn't even vacuum, I don't think, for them a couple days, no.
Okay, nothing further.
Thank you for the mathematicians in the chat. I appreciate every single one of you mathematicians in the chat.
Yeah, because we ain't it. We ain't it, guys.
You have not.
We ain't it.
Yeah, no. I'm glad that my teacher was lying when she said I would not be having a calculator with me all the time when I was an adult. I'm glad that was a lie.
Cross?
Some
Okay.
more questions. Just
Go ahead.
Sorry, but Isn't it true that you smoke cigarettes every day?
Objection relevance, Your Honor.
How's it relevant?
As to be my argument, how she's partially suicidal by smoking cigarettes, and this is why
Okay.
she'd be willing to
No.
mark herself off.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that, KFARR. She's suicidal
Because she smokes cigarettes.
smokes cigarettes. Okay.
Eric Martin logic, everyone.
Okay, so we've had a slavery argument. We've had a suicidal argument. Holy cow. I mean, Eric Martin, do you eat sugar every day? Do you drink Coca-Cola? You're partially
Yeah,
suicidal. You're going to get diabetes and die.
How far are we going to take that logic? And let me
Yeah.
see. Wixom says my college degree is in math. Wixom, the only reason I am not a history teacher right now is because I can't pass math to save my life.
Ava just scared the crap out of me.
The cockroaches, she heard them.
I know.
Sustained. Next.
So the next question will be along the same lines of that. If you're not gonna allow that, then the others do the same thing, so. That's all I think right now.
All right, can this witness be excused? Do we have any further questions for this witness?
No, Your Honor.
No.
Okay, ma'am, you're
Okay,
excused. Thank you.
And the people rest, Your Honor.
All right.
And then she muted again.
She's
Like, this is my thing. If you're gonna play the whole, bench trial, just fucking let it play.
yeah. Well, if she's saying stuff off the record, that's why. It's like when you're watching like a big famous case and they have a sidebar, they mute and then zoom in on the seal above the judge's head or whatever. But they don't
Wixom,
have the technology.
no. Wixom, you say you could see the insanity in his face. The stuff that I'm looking up, I need to find somebody that can look it up on Pacer for me so I just want to verify that it's accurate. Like I said, the psychologist from the Michigan Department of Corrections does not look favorably on Eric Martin, and he has made some just absolutely ridiculous claims that makes him
To
seem
prove
crazy.
this case beyond a reasonable doubt rests solely on the prosecutor. Do you understand that?
Comprehend that.
Okay. And you understand that I could not use your silence against you in making a decision on this case. Do you understand that?
Yes.
So that doesn't matter one way or another to me. I would not consider whether or not you testified or whether you didn't testify when making a determination in this case. Do you understand that?
Well, I understand. I don't have, well, I can comprehend. I don't have to, but I don't agree. Maybe the legal aspect, whether it's.
Well, you don't have to agree with it. I'm telling you, as a judge,
Understand.
I just need to make sure you understand that I'm telling you, your refusal to testify would not be used against you. I would not consider it. Do you understand that?
I comprehend that. Yeah.
Okay. And are you waiving that right to remain silent and testifying in this case?
Yes.
Okay, before we take your testimony, do you have a motion for directed verdict or a motion otherwise?
Yes, but there's an issue of kind of evidence I want to get to kind of support the case too. And I, being in jail, I don't have access to it, and now the lawyer's not doing his job, so now.
I'm not reading that one.
Oh, I'll read it. Average peeps for 2 doll hairs. This is their foreplay. Yeah, while their other brother just is in the back playing a banjo somewhere.
Just sitting in the chair in the corner.
Yeah, in the dark, so they can't see him. Just hear the sweet, sweet love making music.
How did? Never mind. All right, I'm gonna let it play.
Mr. Martin, you had a bond condition. I want to be clear on this. You had one bond condition that you would not follow. I told you you could not return to that residence while the case was pending. And you continued to go back to that residence. And you violated the conditions of this court. And that is why you were in custody. So let's be crystal clear. The reason you have personal bond, I let you out. and you refused to comply with the conditions of my bond.
I had no
I wish you went
Well,
knife handle.
that's not a me problem, sir. I'm telling you, the reason you were in custody, solely the reason you were in custody is because you would not follow my bond conditions. So you took away your freedom.
GE swag.
Because all you had to do was that one thing, and you couldn't do it. So let's be crystal clear on that. Now, did you have a motion?
Yes, I have some, yes.
Your record.
Move to dismiss based on, well, the police officers due forward is not here, and the other one, I move to dismiss on that. My right to cross-examine is violated on that because they're not here, so. Twerp, Dylan, and Jeremy Duford, they're not here, so.
Okay. Anything else? The prosecutor
Here's the thing. It's also the end of the day. So if you want to cross-examine them, we can adjourn for the night and come back in the morning and we can get them here. So that's not a reason to dismiss the case.
Especially not halfway through witness testimony.
No, yeah, it's yeah. Uh-oh, I see something else happening. There we go.
So I want to read GE Swag's comment because it gives context to this comment.
Okay, so let me scroll back up and find
you're my sister, you're my sister, Eric Dirt. I don't know if you watched the original Joe Dirt when he thought he just did the hippity dippity with his sister, and then it turns out it wasn't his sister. But that's what he said. He said, "You're my
all
sister."
Of these
you're my
movies
sister.
I've seen, but like a long time ago, and I don't remember them. My brain is filled up with too much stuff.
This is a steel trap for useless movie knowledge and
Yeah.
history. Anything else? But Average Peep says for $2. Next case is the custody battle for who gets Junior. I really hope that this isn't real, which would be wild, and I would watch it.
That would be wild.
But
I would too.
like
We'd have to
in
get
it win
Colin
it.
on for that one.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go I'm just gonna ask him like, hey, what do I need to record this? Like, what paperwork do I need to fill out to just record every Eric Martin case in person? That'd be wild.
There's got to be a way to. Well, I mean, it's up to the judge. She can just put her foot down and say no, obviously. But depending on whose courtroom it is in, some judges might be more into that sort of thing. You know,
right to prove her case as she see fit. And if she wants to bring in a complaining
for
witness,
real, if you can get into one of these cases, I have so much gear and equipment and tripods and
Gonna break out my press pass.
Yeah, freaking get the Canon cameras out. Yeah.
and prove that through the testimony of one witness, she's entitled under Michigan law to do so, or any law in the country. So that motion's denied. What else?
Well, I have a response to that. It's true as her right might be, but I'm saying my right to process to me by right. So it's irrelevant to my right to be by.
Okay. You made your record. What's next?
Next one is under I move to dismiss under MCL. It's the 28.6B. Pull it up on your you can refresh your memory.
Thank you. I will do that. Go ahead.
It's like section 1. If I remember right, I think go to section 1. I was just looking the other day on the tab of the jail, and I had to hurry up and turn it in so I have a chance to write it down. I'm pretty sure it's section 1. At first, the police is their limitation on arresting. And it mentions, I'm pretty sure it's section 1, where it says they shall not arrest basically unless if they're not aware of a crime being committed right in front of them, they're not supposed to be arrested.
Okay.
So they shouldn't have arrested under that statute, and therefore since they shouldn't have. Now, well, let me ask you before I get to the rest of my argument. Do you see where it says that in section 1? Or 2? It's not much reading. It's right under the, you only have to read all the heading and all that, just right when it gets to the text of the statute. It's referring to police as, like I said, the limits on arresting. They may arrest only in felony cases or if a crime has been committed in their presence. It means they know for sure. Otherwise, they shall not arrest. This statute supports that. They did it anyways, so therefore, been illegally arrested.
Okay. I see the statute. I've looked at the statute, and that motion's denied.
I'd like to know the reason. So I
Okay,
just-
Mr. Martin, well, you can appeal me.
I will, and actually, I want to get an appeal form for the request.
Okay, well, we got to find out what my ruling on the case is before you do that. But any motions or that you've made that I've ruled against you on, well, you potentially can file your motion on those and we'll make sure we address that. But I'm
All right,
still taking evidence.
All right.
Anything else?
I don't think so. No.
All right, Mr. Martin, you want to come and take the witness stand?
I really wish I was listening the whole time. That when he said, I'd really like to know why, she said, because I said so. Because I'm the boss and I said so. Did I miss a super chat or did we get this one ready?
Yeah. It was right when you got up. Get your trifold press pass from Chili. Hey, my press pass is much better than anything Chili could come up with.
Where did my press pass go?
A subscriber made this for me a long time ago.
Thank you very much for the super chat.
And in my opinion, making a press pass is like the easiest thing to do, like the bare minimum of like, hey, I'm not here to fuck around. I'm only here to record and do journalism. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
all of the fraudsters fuck around.
In some small towns in Georgia, not naming any names, they don't give a crap if you're there for like to report on something. They absolutely don't care. They will not look at you or talk to you. We'll chat more about.
You need to be a 700-pound man named Russell, and then maybe they'd care.
I guess. We'll talk about that more tomorrow, not tonight, because we're talking about Eric Martin tonight.
The memberships, it was just me. You can
I saw that. I tried to click them, and then I saw out of the corner of my eye it was you.
Look at that little guy
Stand and
taking
face
this
me,
thing
Mr.
in.
Martin. And raise your right hand. You understand you have a right to. Sir, you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
All right, have a seat, Mr. Martin. And he does not have an attorney, so I'm going to allow him to just give a narrative. And then
Reball it.
you can cross-examine on that narrative. All right, Mr. Martin, go ahead. What do you want the court to know?
Start off my system.
Legal fiction member for 5 months. I move to dismiss. Motion granted.
Yeah, I wish. At this point, in my opinion, the judge probably already has an idea of how she's going to rule. She could just be like, Eric Martin, I don't even need to hear this shit, bro. I don't even need to hear it. I got places to be, my guy.
She's a constant liar.
Okay,
She's very aggressive,
Okay.
psychotic, and to a degree.
all right. Is there anything you
I
want
can
to tell
see
me
that.
about this instance?
Well, first we'll start with the general, then we'll go to specifics.
All right, well, that's character evidence and it's not admissible, so it's stricken. Go ahead.
And I object to that because it's relevant to the credibility.
Okay, it's not. You're talking about her aggressive behavior, right?
Excuse me?
You're telling me she's psychotic and very aggressive, and that really doesn't go to her credibility. That goes to,
Well, again, let me argue then to see it. but
all right, what's
Like-
next? What else do you want to tell me?
That's reconsidered after I do my argument.
Okay,
I'll point out it's relevant.
all right,
I wouldn't say things that's not relevant. So even though I'm not an official attorney, I don't have their official training. Studying practicing law for 30 years, I know it's relevant.
okay, all right, go ahead.
So basically, on the day in question here, was relevant to the complaint. Turn the radio down because she had it too loud. The kitty cat was laying right there by the radio. She had it at an uncomfortable level. Turned it up, it was too loud. I turned it down in consideration of the cat. It's not stressing the cat. And it wasn't
consideration
loud,
for the
low,
cat.
Real low, or too, like she says, it was loud.
This whole
at a
in
comfortable level,
consideration
so-
for the cat thing is killing me because cats will if is the cat old and crippled and can't move on its own?
I have 4
Can you move the
cats.
cat?
I have 4 cats. I have seen 2 of them today.
Like if they're uncomfortable and want to leave, they leave.
They're
They'll
literally
go into
like
another
little
room. They'll
people.
move away
just-
from the speaker.
They'll do whatever they want. So it's like if the
Yeah.
like again, if it was that bothered, it would have just been like, all right, well, I'm out of here. See you when I see you guys, and just walked out.
Yeah. I've only ever had actually myself had a cat one time. So I'm not a huge experienced cat person, but in my experience, cats do whatever they want.
I do it, she gets all crazy and emotional. You're not gonna be turning my radio down and turn it back up. I'll go in her room and mess with it. So I went back in my room. As she said, she was going in my room and mess with something, so I went in my room before.
Wait, what? Who went to the room first?
I went to the room first.
Okay, and then what?
I mean, after she said it, so she started getting indication, going in the room, mess with something in my room. So I went in there so I could see, so she ain't doing something I can't see. But so then she followed me in there, like right at the doorway. She came in behind me, and then she's standing right there at the doorway, and then still shouting, you know, let me turn my radio down. Whatever, this is my house, and just getting all emotional and crazy. But that's it. Basically, I just turned around and said, get out of my way. She was just blocking my way, but she was all in my face, you know, and trying to instigate me to do something to her, as she normally does, as she did in the last case, which is why they dismissed it. They seen on the videos.
All right, I don't care about that case. Keep going.
Basically, just getting aggressive in my face, and I told her, get out of my way. She wasn't moving, trying to instigate me to assault her. But I didn't do that. I just, I had a little leeway, like between the wall and where she was standing. She was standing to the left a little bit, so I just turned my body like this, and since she wouldn't move, I just went aside her. I didn't push her, do nothing. I went alongside her, behind her, and went to the refrigerator, and that's basically it.
Go out in the hallway.
Oh.
Go in the hallway. Yes, you. Go in the hallway.
Okay, Brutal Bob. What happened there? Because we didn't hear what happened. Brutal Bob, are you there? Apparently,
it was a combination of things.
Okay.
As he was testifying, she was making noises in the back, saying things in a loud whisper about him lying, or it was BS, or, you know, that wasn't true. And the judge kept looking that way. The police officer at the prosecution table turned around and mouthed, "Be quiet," to her. She looked at me. I said the same thing, and she just kept it up. And that last thing, when she said, "He's just lying," didn't happen, and the judge just blew up.
I don't understand how people can become grown adults, elderly even, like grandparent age, and not know how to act in public.
Yeah, like
would you do this at church? Would you do this at, like, in school? Like anywhere where there's some sort of order or decorum expected of you? Would you just speak out like that? It's crazy to me.
I don't want to bring up Law and Order because I'm going to. It's a TV show. We understand that.
Dun dun.
Every single court TV show, if you're just in the gallery doing fuck shit, you're going to get kicked out of court. You're never the good guy. If you're
get out
yelling from the, you're always the bad guy. So if you're the victim and you don't want Eric Martin to continue to hit you, fucking, I don't know, squeeze your pinky finger until you want to scream and just shut the fuck up. Like, if there was any like judge flip-flopping, like, oh, who do I distrust more? This just set her completely over the edge of like, oh no, this bitch, I don't like her. She's lying.
I agree with the judge. I agreed with the judge when this woman is like, I've never lied in my life. I'm not a liar. Who are you gonna believe? Me or him? Never lied.
Yeah, it's like
once.
Eric Martin, you know, may be a liar, but most of the time in court, he's just an idiot. You know what I mean? Like, he thinks what he's saying is correct, but he's an idiot, where she's just kind of like freeballing whatever she wants back there.
I don't like her. I'm sorry if you're watching this, ma'am, but your conduct makes you seem untrustworthy. So maybe change your conduct for the next one of these. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go on. I listened to all this lies. All right. Go on, Mr. Martin.
That's basically it. You know, I went to the refrigerator and that was basically it. You know, and then I went to my room and she called the cops and that's it. You know, that's pretty much it. And, like I said, basically she lied and didn't do it. They
Anything
grabbed
else?
her, nothing.
All right. So your testimony is you didn't push her, you just walked beside her?
Yeah, slipped like from my body
Finally, a movie reference that I get.
like this. And, but I mean, the way she instigates someone, you know, you know, she instigates people to do stuff like that, and then she wants to act like she's the victim, but that's not true. And as her own testimony, I want to say, admits.
Just,
Yeah,
it's not argument. Just tell me what else happened or whatever. All I want to know about is what happened that night.
Yeah, that's all I have to say that happened at night.
All right, Cross.
Thank you, Your Honor. And Mr. Martin, to start, you do understand that you're under oath and under the penalty of perjury, correct?
Comprehend that?
Okay, and yes or no answers if you could.
Yes.
Okay, and you and Lisa Martin are siblings, correct?
What's the word sibling?
Brother, sister.
Yeah.
Okay, and were you both on the date of June 12th, 2025?
Did he really not know what the word sibling meant, or is he just is he being obtuse? What do you think?
He does this again later, where like a super common like legal term, he just like nukes it. And he's like, "What does that mean?" And it's like, okay.
You were both at the location 9074 Clipper in the city of Taylor, County of Wayne?
Yeah.
And that's your home?
My home now, well, it's our father's, it was our parents' house.
Do you live there?
I've lived there all my life.
And does Lisa live there?
Yes.
Okay, and on that day, June 12th, did you and Lisa have a verbal disagreement?
Verbal back and forth, yes.
Okay, and was it about a radio?
Yeah.
Okay, and would you agree that that argument got heated? Were you upset?
I mean, back and forth. I'm not sure about the set part, but verbal back and forth, maybe a little bit, you know, but nothing to the degree gonna make me assault her. I know that's what she wants. I know she's gonna call the cops anyway, so I know there's no sense in
Okay,
doing
and
that.
so you're stating no, that it wasn't heated?
I guess every argument maybe to agree might be slightly, but I'm not gonna say it was really heated, you know, I mean, no, I mean, maybe a little bit, you know, but not really, no.
Okay, and was your tone, was it raised?
It was maybe slightly, not too much really.
Okay, and you're denying that any physical contact occurred with you and Lisa Martin?
Yeah,
Okay, and you're stating at that time that you were inside your bedroom
yes.
and Lisa was by the doorway?
Doorway, like in my room, just barely though, but just like 1 foot inside the doorway. And I walk away a little bit and I just turn right around.
And do you know how big that doorway is? Is it wide, is it narrow?
I'm not,
For a regular house doorway, Mr.
yeah,
Martin?
it's regular.
For a bedroom?
This
I
ain't
saw
no
the pictures
mansion.
of the door and the.
This ain't no mansion, so. But she
You
was
don't
standing
say.
to the left, right, just had enough to get by her. Plus, you know, I'm a small guy, I can, you know, stand to the side and I can get by, you know, you see, I'm a pretty skinny guy, I mean, only 140 some pounds, I'm telling you, much for me to get through.
Okay, and Mr. Martin, you're stating that you never touched her at any point?
No,
You never, even walking past the doorway, didn't accidentally hit her or anything?
no, you know, she wanted that to happen, was standing in the way, but I had enough way to get through and, no.
Okay, and you heard Miss Lisa Martin testify. Do you disagree that this incident took place?
Real quick, probably another 30 minutes, maybe? Because I figure we'll talk after this too, right?
Yeah, probably
30 or so more minutes. Oh, she's
Her
into chat.
testimony is a lie. The only thing she told the truth was about the radio. You know, I turned the radio down,
But you're
Right.
disagreeing with what she testified to today, that an assault occurred?
yes.
Okay, and you're maintaining that today?
Yes, and I don't agree that, I'm also testifying that they look like blotches on the skin. That ain't caused by no finger pressure,
Okay,
that's,
but you're maintaining that today, right? That didn't occur?
right, yes.
Okay, and one moment, Your Honor. Mr. Martin, at any point in your life, have you ever been convicted of a crime of dishonesty?
Ha.
Fraudulently assumed, so yes.
Okay.
Only
Is that within the
assumed.
last 10 years?
No.
No, Your Honor. Okay. I have nothing further from Mr. Martin.
I have some more, things to say.
He wants to redirect himself.
All right, well, if there was a crime of fraudulent activity and he did testify at some point that there was some crime of dishonesty in his past, it's past 10 years, according to both the prosecutor and the witness. So I'm not
Okay,
using
so
any of that testimony and making my decision.
pause right quick.
Mr.
So
Martin.
I wouldn't necessarily call it a crime of dishonesty. But if you broke the law and then you fought it in court and lost, I would claim that's being dishonest, especially if it was, oh, you don't have a driver's license and you were driving a car and now you're fighting about you don't need a driver's license. I call that dishonest, but
It is, however,
I understand it's not like the same as working at a bank and then robbing said bank. But like,
hold on. Let me get rid of these dogs. We have another special guest.
yo.
Hey, everybody.
Hi.
How you
I
doing?
know you're sideways.
No, that looks like the exact same chair that I had that I just threw
There we
away.
go.
Yeah, let me find something to prop this up on.
We have another eyewitness to this case.
Yes, we have the other half of the reporting team from the Taylor courthouse yesterday.
We have.
Yeah, there was.
We'll get
there
back
was-
to Eric Martin in a second.
Yeah, there was going to be three of us. Colin was going to join us, but he had something come up, so he wasn't there. But Bob and I were.
Yeah.
No, Eric Martin's brother isn't in the hospital, I don't think. I don't know now, but he was in one of the videos talking about them. So I'm assuming he's out. Maybe he's back. I don't know.
So about the crimes of dishonesty, what they're referring to, it's a specific, like you were saying, like if
I
you
know, yeah.
were being, but it's a specific, like if it was fraud or something like that, where the crime was the dishonesty.
It angers me because he tried to fight 2 driver's license tickets, and it's like, Eric Martin.
Yeah.
You need a driver's license.
Did you have anything to add, Wixom, to what we've already talked about before we get back to the trial?
You know, I seem to be lagging really bad here, but maybe the audio is not.
You sound okay.
So I said in chat that, you know, when they brought Eric Martin out, I could just see the insanity in his face. At first, I really didn't recognize him. He was so tiny, and the court officer that brought him out was very tall, so it made him look even smaller. But I looked into his face, and I just thought, oh my God, this guy is just, he needs mental help. But apparently, he's been deemed competent. So.
Quick question. Was the same look in the sister's eyes? Is this something that runs in the family, you think?
You know, talking with the sister, she seemed much more, I didn't see the insanity, but
Gotcha.
she seemed, I don't know, maybe Bob could weigh in on this. She seemed a little off to me, really.
They both seem to have like severe impulse control issues.
Well, she was a little more insane than Eric, but I won't say a whole lot more.
Yeah. So I don't know if you heard earlier, people were posting on his Facebook bits and pieces from his MDOC psychologist record that he, for whatever reason, added to one of his lawsuits. And yeah, the MDOC, I don't know how they're allowing him to represent himself after what they said about him.
Yeah, like KFARR was saying earlier, he's going to check on that before we release it publicly, because it's not nice.
No, yeah, some of it's super wild, and if it's all true, I don't know how he's just out roaming the public unmedicated?
Because they've done away with public asylums. That's why. That's why he's just out roaming among the streets. Because if everything that you sent me today was true, he should be in some sort of facility.
And I didn't even send you everything.
Oh, well, what you sent me was enough for me to think that he does not need to be just out in the general public amongst us in society.
Yeah, on his Facebook page, under the video of him getting arrested in his kitchen, I think there was like 17 or 19 comments, and I'm just like, oh God.
Yeah. All right, let's watch the end of this trial. I keep wanting to say hearing, but this is the trial. This is it.
This is it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yes, also want to say now, the main reason why my sister, keeps up with this agenda of telling constant lies and trying to get into these domestic cases, is because she has this agenda trying to take over the house for herself, hoping the cop would be dumb enough to arrest me like they was. No problem cause, no evidence, just based on her word. And this is the agenda why she's doing it. And then she even had her daughter try this on me too, which that case was dismissed too. This is why there's no evidence. And she knew when I reminded her of it, by the law, you gotta have evidence, you gotta have not just your word, but it's not evidence.
Well, your testimony is evidence, Mr. Martin, so.
Well, I said, but
And that is, the jury instructions tell me that I can convict based on the testimony of one witness, so I'll follow the jury instructions. But go on.
no, but that's no more than my testimony.
That's correct, sir. You're absolutely right about that.
So, but yeah, so her daughter had tried the same thing, that case was dismissed, so they both try to conspire with each other.
All right, I'm striking all of that. None of that's relevant. What else, Mr. Martin?
I'm just gonna say that's their agenda, that's
Okay, I understand.
That's my sister's agenda.
All right, Mr. Martin, anything else?
Welcome, Handy Raiders, to the Rumble stream. Please subscribe while you're there. KFARR and I stream 2 nights a week, sometimes 3, and I stream on Sundays too.
All right, are you done?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Martin, you can have a seat. You have anything else you want me to consider?
No, that's what I'm trying to think, I don't want to rush and then forget something unless I'm trying to.
Well, that's all right, Mr.
Yeah.
Martin. I think you covered quite a bit here. So you can have a seat back at the stand or at the defense table. All right, and Mr. Martin, are you resting at this time?
Resting? What does that mean?
Well, do you have any more witnesses that you're calling?
Oh,
That's what I was talking about.
well,
What
no,
does
I-
that mean? What does that
What does that
mean? You're
mean?
representing yourself, sir. You should know what resting your case is. Holy cannoli. Sorry, that threw me for a loop.
No, so did I, because I was watching it like live on YouTube, and I'm just like, did he? Of all of the terms to screw up, like that's the one.
That's a
he
pretty
picked.
common one.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's not even in Latin. Like,
yeah, that's in plain old English.
yeah. That surprised me almost as much as him claiming that his sister has suicidal tendencies because she smokes cigarettes.
Smokes,
Like,
yeah. She smokes occasionally, and yeah, we should get her checked
he said
because she
every
wants
day.
to-
She smokes every day. She wants to be dead.
I wanted it first, but no, since you questioned her on it, it's not necessary. I was gonna, like I said, the tax assessor, but that's good. I'm glad you covered that. I don't need that now, but let me think,
Mr. Martin, you don't
oh,
have.
the other video. That's what it just reminded me.
All right,
Like
you,
mentioned.
Mr. Martin, you can have a seat. Just have a seat. I'll accept that other video, but your brother's not here to testify about that, okay? And I don't really think it's relevant. Do you have a closing argument?
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor. Today we're here for assault and battery charge, domestic violence count against Mr. Eric Martin. We as a people believe that we have met the burden beyond a reasonable doubt for these charges here today. We did hear testimony from Miss Lisa Martin. This is Mr. Eric Martin's sister. They both reside in the same home. That a dispute occurred over a radio on the date of June 12, 2025 in the city of Taylor, County of Wayne, location being 9074 Clifford. This is both these individuals' home. Miss Lisa Martin testified at some point after a radio was turned down, she approached Mr. Eric Martin's room. Eric Martin was he stated to get out of her room. He shoved her once and then attempted to shove her again, but hit her neck the second time. This was unwanted contact by Mr. Eric Martin against Lisa Martin. The testimony believed our witness, Miss Lisa Martin, to be credible. At no point did she change her testimony or change the story. So we believe that we have met our burden today and ask that you find the defendant, Mr. Eric Martin, guilty.
All right, thank you. Mr. Martin, closing arguments.
First of all, the witness is nowhere near credible. They have no credibility at all. As it was evident today by reviewing the video, that my sister made comments several times, it's my house, it's my house. But yet, as she admitted to the judge, the house is not in her name. So it's not her house. That's one lie right there. She's a liar. And her other statement was in the video. I don't know the law. And she admitted it today in court too. I don't know the law. That's totally baseless.
All right, well, Mr. Martin, she's not charged and you're not charged with not knowing or not knowing the law. This is a domestic violence case.
I realize I'm saying as to her credibility. This is a lot.
Okay, well, Mr. Martin, you didn't go to law school. I don't care if you're personally insulted by your sister saying you don't know the law.
No, I'm not. I'm saying this goes to her credibility.
Okay, well, it doesn't. It doesn't. Because you don't know the law.
I love this judge. I love her.
I was going to say, you were in prison for 24 years and you keep getting convicted of driving without a license. Yeah, it seems like you don't know the law. Or I know I dropped it in my chat where I had the BSBT bot read his attempt at a TPO against the Wayne County Treasurer.
Yeah.
Eric Martin can confirm you do not know the law. Can confirm.
Mm-hmm. We watch so many of these Eric Martin cases. I feel like this is like the third one, isn't it?
Third or fourth?
Yeah.
No person.
It's been a lot. I think some of them were hearings, like hearings leading up to trials.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah. Yeah. Nobody should represent themselves. You are 1000% correct.
Yeah. 100%. And this idiot definitely shouldn't represent himself. Like, I feel like he's never even watched a trial, let alone, and he has to have, because he's been on trial. So he has to have been.
He's one of those people that think that, what am I looking for? That because he's been part of the process so many times, he must automatically be a lawyer. And it's like,
yeah.
That's not how it works, Eric.
Yeah.
The MCR is in here. How my
okay. Anything else, Mr. Martin? Are you ready for my ruling, Mr. Martin? Because I'm ready to rule.
No. Like I said, I got more lies to point out.
Oh, okay. Well, you don't even have to. I'm going to make my ruling. All right. The prosecutor has the burden of proving this case beyond a reasonable doubt. It's the highest standard in criminal law. It's like 96%. The jury instructions tell me I can convict based on the testimony of one witness. Jury instruction addresses that. But I also have to consider jury instruction 3.6 on witness credibility. And there are factors I'm to look at when I determine whether or not I believe a witness is credible. And those factors do not weigh in Miss Martin's favor. There's no doubt she had a memory. She was consistent with her story to some degree. But she evaded questions. She argued with this court. She argued with the prosecutor. She argued with Mr. Martin. I had to tell her on multiple occasions to be quiet. Ultimately, I had to remove her from the court for her behavior. She has no self-control. That was abundantly clear to me. Mr. Martin has appeared in front of me many, many times at this point, and he's a handful and he's frequently disruptive during court proceedings. That doesn't mean that I'm going to take all of that into consideration when I'm determining whether or not someone is guilty of the charge of domestic violence beyond a reasonable doubt. There's no doubt in my mind that people have personal interests involved in this case. And here's the reality. It's very difficult to prove a case based on the testimony of one witness, especially when that witness is argumentative to the extent that she has to be removed from the courtroom. That's just the reality of the situation here. And Mr. Martin, whether or not I agree with him 99.9% of the time is not what the issue is here. The issue is whether or not the people have met their burden of proving Mr. Martin committed a domestic assault beyond a reasonable doubt. And based on the jury instructions based on the testimony that I've heard today, I do not believe the people met their burden. And the case against Mr. Martin is, my verdict is not guilty. Anything else?
Thank you for your just decision.
Well, Mr. Martin, that doesn't mean I think I agree with you on most things, but you don't have the burden today. And that's my ruling. We're all set.
And
Wow.
there it was.
If she
There
would
you
have
have it.
just shut up.
I know. And the judge even said that at the end. The judge is like, she can't control herself. So how can I trust that she was controlling herself that day? Like, she can't control herself in this courtroom right now.
That did it. She was her
So-
own worst enemy.
When you were there, Bob, and I wish Wixom, I don't know if it's his internet or what.
Oh, yeah, it was laggy.
Yeah. I wish I would ask him the same thing. I think he might still be in the chat. But did you think that was going to go down the way it did?
Yes. Once
You did.
Once the arguing started with the judge and not paying attention, you could see it in Judge Shackelford's face that she was not happy. She didn't believe some of the things. There's a lot of things you could look for in Judge Shackelford's face and see what she was thinking. And I looked at Wixom and I just shook my head when she started talking at the end because I knew it was going to go that way. And I think Wixom did too. And then we
Yeah.
just kind of both shrugged when she came up with that because the woman just took her own credibility away with the way she acted.
I can see that. And you can tell Judge Shackelford did not want to side with him either, but she did the just thing. Like when I was listening to that woman, the witness, victim, whatever, I didn't believe her. Like, I didn't believe her. And I know who Eric Martin is. And the judge is not even supposed to take any of that into account.
Yeah.
So,
Like we said, once you start going, I've never lied not once in my entire life.
she
It's
said
just
it like 20 times.
It's making me think you're pushing that real hard because you're a liar. But
Yeah.
Now,
it just sucks because it sets him up. Like when sovereign citizens when they get cases dismissed, it like sets them up to have such higher confidence that,
Yeah.
sovereign citizen bullshit does work. And it's like, that's not why this was not guilty, bud.
No. Yeah.
um,
Has he been spouting off online at all since this
No.
happened?
That's the only reason I
Real.
knew about those things, because the last 2 days I've just been like, is he there yet? Is he? Nope.
Yeah.
there's something there. I know Miss Katie doesn't like lady police officers, and I think somebody in the chat.
It's not that I don't like them. I think they do a poor job. That's
Well,
all.
I think it's Gregory Benway in the chat. He said she's why we shouldn't have female judges. Had you been there and seen the cases that she handled, especially the one KFARR was talking about, she just kept going over these people while they were screaming and hollering and reading what she had to read and not take any of their crap and just put it right to them and give them their bonds and or keep them in jail or whatever. She wasn't taking any crap. She was pretty lenient with Martin. I didn't go with that. I think you should be held to the same standard as an attorney, like they say they're going to, but they give them a little latitude because in case of an appeal. Now, I had a really nice 5-minute chat there with the judge in between a couple things, and I'm impressed with her. She does a really good job with these sovereigns in reading what she needs to read and telling them what they need to hear when she's setting bail or doing whatever. And if she was getting elected tomorrow, I'd contribute to her campaign because I think she's a good judge and needs to stay there.
Yeah, I agree with you, Bob. Definitely agree with that.
Let me see if I can turn up his volume.
Somebody asked, did I think this was going to happen? You know, once
We can barely hear you, Wixom. Can you either get your face closer to the microphone or yell?
is it better?
Negative. Negative, Ghost Rider.
There we go.
That's
Is that better?
pretty good. That
Yes.
is much better.
Okay. Yeah, I was too far away from the microphone. Anyway, yeah, I did suspect that this was going to happen, especially when the judge threw Lisa out of the courtroom. They had already had problems when she was on the stand. They were starting to get testy, and then Lisa, who was only about 10 or 15 feet away from Bob and I, back behind us, we could hear clearly, when Eric Martin would testify, and she would say, "Oh, that's baloney. Hey, that's a lie," and she continued to shout out in the courtroom. Although apparently the microphones didn't pick it up because I didn't hear it here on the live stream, but we could hear it, and so could the judge. And Judge Shackelford had just finally had enough and threw her out. And I remember thinking at the time, boy, now how is the judge going to handle her credibility? And we found out at the end that she just decided she wasn't credible. So
I didn't think she was credible either. I think this was
Yeah.
a just call.
I'm
None of us on the screen right here were there that day. We don't know what happened. And if I had to, you want to err on the side of caution, no matter who the person is, no matter what the record is, whatever. It's a new case. It's a new incident that happened, and you just have to take that. You can't have all of this other stuff clouding the decision. The judge did exactly what she was supposed to do, in my opinion.
yeah, I agree with that. I think that you only have one witness, and whose credibility she, like Bob said, she was her own worst enemy. She blew her own credibility as the only witness, and the judge just said, "I'm not buying it."
Yeah. And like I said, when she first started testifying, can you not? I think it was even before I think it was when Bob was here talking ahead of time. Can you not just sit there, be normal, and tell the truth?
Yeah.
That's all you have to do
just
for the
fake
next
it for
hour.
15 minutes. Just fake it. Fake like you're a human being. No,
Yeah,
when
she couldn't do it.
you guys said that the microphones didn't pick up her getting kicked out. So Mrs. KFARR had just come home and she was in here watching it with me. And we watched somebody get thrown out. And I'm like, oh, Bob, better call me the moment this thing ends because I want to know who got thrown out. Because I'm like, I don't think either of them got thrown out, but I don't know who was in just chilling in there. So I'm like, it's either the two people watching it that I know that are watching it, or his sister got thrown out. And I'm like, oh. And then she spoiled it at the end. And I'm just like, good.
Was there anybody else there watching the case besides you two?
Oh yeah, there was several people that came and left. Because Bob and I were there from. I think I got there at about 9:30, and we didn't leave till 5. So throughout the day, people were coming and going.
Yeah, because wasn't it scheduled for 10 or 10:15?
Yeah, it was scheduled for 10. I think it started at 11:15 or so.
Yeah.
Took about 45 minutes to go through just these endless stupid motions, or motions.
Motion to dismiss because of
motions
slippery.
to dismiss.
Yeah, just one after another, and that took us all the way up to it was a little after noon, and then we broke for lunch. They only gave us about 50 minutes, so Bob and I just ran to a fast food place and came back, and then unfortunately Judge Shackelford inherited all of Judge Slavin's afternoon docket, so that took a couple hours, and then the Eric Martin trial began. It was a long day.
Hey, KFARR, it could have been me that got thrown out, but when we sat down there, I talked to a couple of the court officers and told them about my owner having dementia, and I was watching for text, so they didn't pay attention when I had my phone out and about. I did take a picture of Wixom when he was sitting there paying attention, and the prosecutor, so I did come away with a souvenir.
Put it on a t-shirt. I was at the Eric Martin trial.
That should be your your avatar right now is that picture, not the bee.
I don't know how to do that stuff, Miss Katie. I'm dumber than a rock.
I should say one thing about Bob. During one of the breaks in the morning, Bob was engaging. There were 3 court officers and Judge Shackelford, and he was just engaging them in just this long dialogue. And I was just kind of looking at him in amazement. he was very entertaining in the courtroom.
Well, she had a lot of things. You know, she was answering my questions because I was throwing at her, KFARR, how does she like the fact she got Zoom, because she'd had a case up there just a little bit before the break, before we got into Martin, and the guy was kind of a jerk. Had he come to court, one of the court officers would have been walking him out to the holding cell. But she gets frustrated because they're on this Zoom stuff, and then, later on, they do come to court. But she gets very upset. I won't say upset, but very frustrated that it's not in person, so that when people get really snarky, and believe me, y'all didn't see it unless you watched the whole long tape, there was a lot of snarky against her during that, from people being very disrespectful.
Yeah, there
And
was.
you could see it, like I keep saying, you can see it in her face. She covered up pretty decent, but it was there, and she really wants the courts to be live and in person, so that when somebody gets that way, it's like, you're out of here, take them in the back, and we'll leave them there and bring them back later today.
She said something really interesting during that dialogue that she had with Bob. And she said that, having these cases on Zoom, she is considered ending it. And she said, but, I realize it's good for the public. It's good for transparency. It's very good for all of us citizens to see this. But she said, from her standpoint, it's a pain in the you-know-what.
Yep.
Oh, I say this all the time. Zoom court works perfectly for 97% of all the people who use it.
Yeah.
And then you get those people who, was it with Judge Simpson, who was like cussing them out over Zoom, and all you can do is say, okay, well, there's a warrant out for you now. Come turn yourself in.
Yeah.
We're like,
Right.
Or that guy that was driving with no license.
Yeah,
He was in
and
traffic court.
Yeah, and it's just like 97% of people it's super convenient. They don't have to come in. It's like, oh, yep, it's a speeding ticket. My bad. Or, hey, this is my insurance card. I couldn't provide it that day. I have it now. And it's
All
fine.
right,
And you get the sovereign citizens that fuck it up for everybody.
KFARR, Miss Katie, she has a YouTube judge that is her hero. Who is it? Don't say anything, Wixom. Who is Judge Shackelford's YouTube judge that's her hero?
It's a female judge?
No.
Is it
the one in Texas?
Is it an actual judge, or is it like a
No,
Judge
it's
Judy
an
type
actual
judge?
judge who's sitting on the bench and is on Zoom every day, or on the YouTube channel every day.
Come on, you two. You should know this.
Come on. I mean,
It's
you're going
not
to make
Judge
it.
Simpson.
Nope, but you're in the right state.
Yep. He's got long hair.
Oh, for real?
Oh, I can't think
Judge
of his
Middleton?
name.
Judge
Middleton.
Middleton. She loves Judge Middleton.
Yep. She
That's
said she even
wild.
started watching his channel.
Yeah. Well, she can be the next YouTube judge. We just need to get her to stream her instead of just on Zoom. She needs to stream YouTube as well.
I told her that everybody loved watching her for the most part, and that the people that were in the anti-auditor and Sovs Hit world really liked her as a judge. And
she's great.
She's a good judge. I mean, you didn't see it with Eric Martin, but some of these people, and like the one that KFARR is talking about, was screaming and hollering. This guy dropped out of sight, and he was spouting off he was saying some pretty nasty things at times. And she just kept going over everything that she had to read, the charges, blah, 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 and said $1,500 bond on this, $1,000 bond on this. Have a great day, sir. See you later. And told the officer to walk down the hall to the next one. And you did, unless you really watched the video, you didn't see this happen. And she doesn't take any crap from people.
It takes a special kind of person, and she has it. She
Yeah.
reminds me of that judge in the Darrell, or not Kenosha, the parade thing.
Oh, Daryl, whatever his
Darrell
name was, Brooks.
Darrell
Yeah.
Brooks. Yeah, it reminds me of that judge in that case where she's not being mean. She's being very nice to everybody, but also not taking any crap from anybody, you know?
Yeah. And
And she gives me those vibes.
Miss Katie, when she was doing this with some of these people, she was talking just like you are in a normal tone of voice, not screaming over the top of whoever was hollering and swearing at her. And this one guy was mother effing this and mother effing that. And she just kept right on reading like nothing
Yeah.
was going on, and then set the bonds and set them high enough. You knew the guy wasn't going to get out, and that was it.
Judge Darrow, that's who I was thinking of. Thank you very much,
Yeah.
Idaho Wiggles.
Oh God, KFARR, not sure if you saw the Long Island audit video of him going to a state trooper's house, because that's always the most intelligent move.
I
Oh,
did
yeah.
hear that he was arrested recently, but I didn't know what. Like I said, I've been really out of the loop at least the last 24, 48 hours because I went up to Danielsville to try to talk to that sheriff.
KFARR, the trooper's house sat way off the road. He walked up this long driveway onto the lawn, almost to the porch, and it's the same trooper that he's had engaged a couple times at the trooper headquarters. And he wanted to ask him why he was making $80,000 a year in overtime money, because all he did was gun permits. And the guy come out and hollered at him and went back and came out with a handgun. And of course, you know, Sean's backing up and go, "What do you got a gun for? What do you got a gun?" And he backed him all the way down the driveway out into the street. And and here's his big thing. Well, there's no trespassing signs.
In my head, it's one of those common sense things where it's like, oh, this isn't your fucking property. Okay. Because I
Thank
know
you.
from personal experience,
Thank you.
If a convicted felon is walking up on my property because he's a cocksucker, yeah, a gun would probably be in my hand. And
Well,
now
that's what
all his psycho audience knows where that trooper lives.
Yeah.
I can only see that going sideways.
Yep.
So coming up, we have Mr. Magoo, who
In the
is
22nd Circuit.
Oh.
Yes, in downtown Ann Arbor. That his pretrial is coming up on this Thursday at 1:30, and I've actually been exchanging emails with Colin. I don't know if he was in the chat earlier. I don't know if he's still here, but I think he's considering coming up for it. But Bob and I are kicking around the idea. I don't know, Bob, if we're still going to go.
Yeah, it's marked on the calendar.
Yeah, so I'm thinking we're probably going to meet for lunch somewhere in Ann Arbor around noon, and then we're going to go see
I love this.
Mr. Magoo.
We have inside correspondence, KFARR.
I tried to look up. I tried to look up Mr. Magoo because I heard that it was the circuit court. And do you use the court case search shit for Michigan, right? The 22nd Circuit isn't on the normal case search like website. It's its own website.
It's not.
So I went to it and I kept spelling, unbeknownst to me, I kept spelling his last name wrong. And then the next day I was talking to Colin. He's like, "Oh yeah, it's spelled this way." And I was like, "Well, that's why I didn't find anything."
Yeah, it's MCGOUGH, but it's pronounced like the cartoon character.
Yeah, I was literally spelling it MAGOO, and I'm like, that ain't gonna help nobody.
Right. It's funny, KFARR, because I did the same thing, and Colin also corrected me. So
I made a whole video on it, and I'm like, I don't know how to spell this guy's last name. I got nothing.
I love that we both have our specialties. I don't know anything about this court search thing that you do and finding cases to watch them. I'm the body cam girl, but man, can I pull a body cam? We might have some good ones coming up.
Yeah, we might have some great ones coming up.
Yeah, probably another Eric Martin when he gets arrested for assaulting his sister again.
I
Oh, yeah,
kind
he'll
of
be
want to
back.
pull ones from this case because you could barely see him the way the audio visual department is in that courtroom. Just to see what was said back and forth, you know?
Yeah, KFAR, I don't know if you have the criminal case records for Washtenaw County. I could send you a link. Colin sent it to me, and that's how I eventually, found Magoo's, arrest record and all his cases coming up, and that's how I know he's got a case coming up in front of Judge Ariana Slay. And I was there in April when he had a pretrial and he failed to show up, and she issued a bench warrant right on the spot. So it took a couple months for them to get him.
And that's the case that he was messing with Simpson with for the longest time.
Yeah, exactly. Where that's the case where he could have, had he wanted to, just taken a misdemeanor obstruction, but instead he wanted to play Perry Mason. He wanted to represent himself, and during the case, he actually called prosecution witnesses in his defense. The prosecution was not going to call these officers. He called them, and they testified that Magoo had assaulted them, and Judge Simpson bound him over to circuit court on 3 felonies. I mean,
wow.
You can't make this shit up. And that's what he's facing now. Plus, he's also in custody because, Judge Slay issued a bench warrant and said, I want his ass. But then apparently in the interim, he's got a domestic violence charge. So he's sitting in jail.
Yeah, he's not a smart man.
No.
And in between, what was it? He was in jail for 3 or 4 days. And in those 3 or 4 days, jail broke him.
Yeah, it seemed that way to me. The last trial I saw or hearing he actually had an attorney.
Yeah,
a public defender. So he's looking like, I could have just walked away with maybe a $200 fine for, misdemeanor obstruction, and this would all be behind me. Now I'm facing serious time in Jackson State Prison. Nice job there, Magoo.
All right. I think this is where we're going to end the stream tonight, everyone. KTZ, what do you got going on?
Tomorrow, 8:00 Eastern time, booze and body cams. KFARR and I will be here. We have some great body cams lined up. Also Friday, booze and body cams. And then Saturday, big announcement, game night for this month on my channel, members game night. So if you are a member on my channel, I will put a post in like the members only posts with the link to join if you want to play along. Obviously, every one of you are invited to play along in the chat. We're doing some crime like trivia questions. So that's all I got.
That's all we got.
What do you got?
I got to make content. I literally have shorts for this channel, and I had my last short for the 3rd channel today. So I have to re-up everything.
Make sure you make sure you freshen up your booze because I'll be there.
Awesome.
Gotcha.
I love it. I would like to give a very heartfelt thank you to Bob and Wixom for actually physically going and watching this case so we could get the inside scoop of what was happening in the courtroom. I appreciate it very much for you being the inside correspondence for us.
It was my pleasure.
Yeah, it was fun.
Before I get off here, I have to read our case comment because I just saw it.
Oh.
What would be worse, Eric doing a domestic with his sister, or if they kissed and made up?
You.
Ew.
When I said,
Well,
oh my
illegal,
God.
right? I don't know. It should be.
Oh, Lord.
All right. Have a great night, everybody. We will see you back here tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern. Until then, have a wonderful evening.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
See, you gotta look for it, cause the salt is back. Swear to God, I'm at the cul-de-sac. Yeah, I'm used to rubbing lamps in my sultan's hat. And now it's all back to this cul-de-sac. Don't know what's ahead, but you can't look back. Lot's wife is just salty Jack. You got them handshake deals in perfect packs. Yeah, got